Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Here we go on a Wednesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark Bobbo. We've made our way here to the midweek. Coaster Bob Day for some, First Friday Miracle for others. What's happening, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Great to talk to you, Beam. Excited. Ready to take on this week. The enthusiasm of unknown to mankind. Finish the week, if you will. A nice little hump day here on a Wednesday for us.
Yep.
That's exciting. I'm finally feeling better, settling in, being back home. Like, all those things are good. So
Back to normal, you think?
I don't know about
Close?
back to normal. We're getting there. I'm feeling all right. Still trying to stay on top of everything. But, yeah, it's been pretty good, man. I've been starting to, I feel like, turn the corner a little bit, Beam, and so that's a win for everybody.
There's nothing worse than, like, being sick, what you were dealing with this past week. And, like, I got a remnants of a head cold from Willie. It was fine. I had a little bit of a sore throat, but nothing to, like, shut you down.
Yeah.
And it is the worst when you're actually, like, sick and you're right in the thralls of it, saying to yourself, will I ever feel normal again?
Yeah.
You take for granted breathing through both of your nostrils.
Oh,
you know?
Absolutely.
Majority of the year, 99% of the time, you feel great. When you're shut down with a head cold, sinus infection, flu, whatever, there's nothing worse than laying there and saying to yourself, am I ever going to feel back to normal? Can I get back? Can I just breathe? That would be great.
Those are the questions that you're asking yourself, Beam. And so, yeah, it's where I'm kind of feeling a little bit right now, trying to figure that all out. But I feel like I am on the mend, on the come up, if you will, sir. So I'm feeling pretty good about the situation. Got some meetings today, got some other stuff. I got a bunch of things I'm trying to wrap up here. I mean, I'm leaving for the Buckeye cruise a week from tomorrow, and I have this I guess you would call it a management development, like culture development session at this dealership in Baltimore, Maryland next week on Wednesday. So, yes, I'm going to be on air. I didn't know if I was going to be able to be on and everything, what their schedule is like. But, yeah, I'm flying out Tuesday, flying back Wednesday. We're not going to get started until after, like, mid-morning, so it's going to be great for that. But, yeah, I've got that there. I've gave them a range of dates. This one,
just a quick pit stop in Baltimore.
Well, with the 26th being the least likely one I wanted to be chosen, and that was the one that they preferred. I said, okay, I can do that.
At all costs.
Yeah. I mean, it is going to come at a cost to them. I was like, this is not, I've got a million things going on. But, yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited to do it. Kind of executive education session for leadership and everything else. So I'm pumped to do that. I enjoy doing that stuff. COVID kind of killed a lot of that, but it's all back now. So I've got that. So I've got all this stuff. I've got my to-do list, Beam, is fairly long.
Oh, yeah, double page.
Well, I made that the last day I was in Gitmo, like on the way back. I'm like, this is a lot of stuff I got to get done.
Here's the stuff we got to accomplish.
So yeah, it was good, but yeah, there was a lot there that I had to really ingest, if you will.
We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. We'll do a crash course in where the Buckeyes could head in April's NFL draft coming up in our next segment around 6:17. 6:30 this morning, we'll head down to Cincinnati from WKRQ. Lindsay Patterson, she's going to join the program. Talk a little Bengals offseason with her coming up at the bottom of the hour. 7 o'clock hour, we got some Coach of the Year odds, Shark. I think it's safe to say Kevin Stefanski not going to be favored to win a third Coach of the Year. So we'll get into that a little bit later on, talk some Buckeyes in there as well. And then busy 8 o'clock hour for you, Berm, coming up at 8:30 this morning. And, of course, every Wednesday at the very end of the program, we get to talk to a different Columbus Blue Jacket each and every week. This week's Jacket of Choice, Cole Sillinger. What was he up to during the break? And Cole's got a fascinating story. Born in Columbus, raised in Canada. Who's he pulling for in the Four Nations, right? So we're going to check in with Cole Sillinger coming up here around 8:47 a little bit later on this morning. Before we hop into anything else today, it is Wednesday. It's the 19th day of February, 2025. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bobby, what do you got lined up for us today, buddy?
Oh, it's great to dive into this, Beam, because it is February 19th. It is a Wednesday. We are crushing through this. being 50 days down this year.
3:15 to go.
3:15 to go. That is humming along. On this day, 1807, Vice President Aaron Burr is arrested for treason in Alabama. He is later acquitted, but that was the beginning of the end for his death spiral of his political career. This day, 1942. How about this? The Yankees doing some good in the world. They announced they will provide 5,000 uniformed soldiers free admission to every one of their home games. As you mentioned, as I said, 42 in the middle of World War II there, so taking care of the troops upon their return home. Same date, FDR signs Executive Order 9066 for Japanese internment. Do you know about that, Shark?
I do, Bob. It's one of the black marks in American history, I would say. The way we treated African Americans during slavery, the way we treated Native Americans when we stole their land, and what we did to the Japanese during World War II.
So actually, we, in my civics class, my government class, we all had to pick we already got assigned, I guess, a Supreme Court case. And mine was Korematsu versus the state of California, which went all the way to the Supreme Court, which was about the Japanese internment and the legality of it. So I always like to dive in on that. It was an insight into me learning about it. This day, 1945, 30,000 Marines land on Iwo Jima for really the coup de grace, if you will, until the atom bombs were dropped in World War II in the Pacific Theater, taking that bloody, bloody island. This day, 1963, the Soviet Union informs JFK they'll be pulling their troops out of Cuba. Interesting, when I was down there are a number of Russians that still live down there.
Really?
That stayed there, yeah. That, like, there's a lot of Cubans that have Russian last names because there are guys that just stay down there and assimilate into the population.
A little nicer this time of the year than Moscow.
Much, yeah. It's hot. There's a lot of bugs down there, Beam. I showed you that yesterday. This day, 1974, the first annual AMAs, American Music Awards, debut. They're broadcast on ABC. They were established, I didn't realize this, they were Dick Clark's answer to the Grammys.
Tuesday, February 19th, the first American Music Awards. Hosting this special tribute will be Roger Miller, Helen Reddy, Smokey Robinson, and the nominees read like a who's who of popular music. Another first. The awards are based on a nationwide poll of the record-buying public. Tuesday, February 19th, the American Music Awards, the beginning of a tradition.
Still going strong.
They are. Still going strong. The creation of Dick Clark. Had no idea about that. 3 years later, 1977, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album goes to number one, holds it for 31 weeks. One of the best-selling rock and roll albums of all time.
You can go your own way.
And how about this bad boy? In 1984, Van Halen hits it to number one with Jump.
I get up, and nothing gets me down. You got it tough.
So much synth.
John Simon, Buckeye great defensive end, loves Van Halen. Huge Van Halen fan. Some birthdays today, turning 70 today. The dude, my man, Jeff Daniels.
Clint Eastwood, I'd never met him. I was at a golf tournament for celebrities, and all of a sudden Clint Eastwood's coming across the breakfast tent, looking at me, and he goes, "Jeff, I saw Dumb and Dumber." Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. Listen, there are other things out there, you know. And he goes, no, the bathroom scene, that happened to me. He goes through this long story about a girlfriend, but he was reliving it.
And I said the dude, I meant that's Jeff Bridges, Jeff Daniels, out of Harry and Lloyd fame, if you will. Roger Goodell turning 66 today.
A gift for you. What?
Oh.
You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
With the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Oh, yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee. Hunter, West Virginia. Hell yeah!
I'll pick him up. Thank you, Ross. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
all right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time.
That's amazing. Gosh, I wonder if that was his real card. I can't imagine it being the case. I wonder what they do with him after they.
It's a great question.
They got a stack of. I mean, there's 250 of them a year.
Some filing cabinet somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Seal, the singer, turning 62 years old.
Banger. Honestly, top 15 song for me. I love that song.
I believe that was off of the Batman.
Yeah, correct.
Batman, the third one there, soundtrack. Banger of a song, if you will. Married to Heidi Klum for a long time. Dwight Freeney turning 45, and the Joker, Nikola Jokic, the horseman, if you will, horse lord, turning 30 today.
How about Jokic with an incredible pass to Aaron Gordon? Every night we see something new from Nikola.
Oh, look at that pass. Look at the pass. What a play. What did we just see there? My goodness.
Jokic has it. Clock ticks. Got to put one up. Jokic for the win. Oh, it's good. Jokic underneath the Porter. Hey! Wow. It's that man again. Jokic backs up for the win. Yes! Nikola Jokic buries it. Oh my God!
That is a bad dude right there.
Three-time MVP, NBA champ as well. Bobby Millie Brown turning 21, 11 from Stranger Things. Some passings today. John Basilone in 1945. One of the heroes being from the Pacific.
Yep.
As you remember, received the Medal of Honor as well for his work there in Iwo Jima. Some holidays observances. It's Best Friends Day. It's Iwo Jima Day. National Airboat Day. How about that? Prevent Plagiarism Day as well. And Chocolate Mint Day. And those historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, February 19th, the 50th day of the year. 315 days remaining this 2025.
Good job with that, Bob, as always. Crash course and where the Buckeyes could head in April's NFL draft. Can't say crash out. That's coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're watching crews clear up one crash on the west side. This is on I-70 eastbound, just east of State Route 142. Watch for the right shoulder blocked off over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And everybody's had these pains, these little nicks, these things that you maybe had an injury when you were younger and you thought it went away. And then all of a sudden, as you get older, it starts to creep back. Doing everything, walking up the stairs, doing your favorite activities, golf, skiing, whatever it might be, the summer, the spring, the winter, it hurts. Hey, do not deal with it any longer. The hip, the knee, the shoulder, the back, whatever it is, there's good news. Go to QC Kinetics. They're groundbreaking treatments for that arthritis pain. They're going to make you feel better. The long-term relief, it's now possible. They're right here in Columbus under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. Don't wait. Make the call today. My dad and I did. His knee's starting to feel better. My knee feels better. They've got PRP treatments. They can change your life. I'm telling you right now. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus for your free consultation or give them a call at 380-208-4544. It's not going to go away on its own. They've got 2 offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so check them out.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is real simple and effective. It's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS. Get a welcome bonus up to $100 and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
military veterans, and active duty service members. You could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for Affinity Whole Health. I've trusted Affinity for 7 years for their testosterone replacement therapy. Why? Because it's natural for our bodies to gradually lose testosterone over time. This leads to brain fog, fatigue, muscle loss, low sex drive, none of the things you want. If you want to feel like you did in your prime and get your energy back, better mood, higher sex drive, increase muscle mass, then get started for free at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Affinity is local. They're accessible. They ship the treatments right to your door. feelgreatcolumbus.com.
The Fan has been ranked as the second best sports station in America by our industry peers. Heartfelt thank you is over. But we're not doing it because we're better than that hillbilly Birmingham station that came in first. Thanks for nothing.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, mostly cloudy with a high of 21. Snow showers tonight with a low of 15. Quick dusting to maybe a half of an inch is possible by Thursday morning. Speaking of Thursday, we're looking at a few snow flurries with a high of 23. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Going up here 6:30 this morning. We'll head down to Cincinnati, check in with WKRQ's Lindsay Patterson, talk very important Bengals offseason with her. Again, she's coming up here 6:30 this morning. Are you excited for the Combine, Bob? I know you're a big Combine guy.
I am, and I was hoping to go to it this year, but the way the Buckeye cruise is hitting, I'm not going to be in town, so I won't be able to.
Next week, correct? Next weekend in Indy?
Starts next week. We were talking to Lathan Ransom about it.
How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's down in Orlando training, and a lot of those guys aren't going to do a whole lot of stuff because they've only been training for 3 weeks. Yeah. Like other people have been training for 8 or 9, like if they didn't play in a bowl game, so they opted out of it. So that it's a much different paradigm for every guy that's going, depending on, what your where you were at, at the end of the season, how good your team was, and that's why they've got to get this stuff figured out as far as what they're doing with the college football schedule, because that's untenable. You're not going to get any of those guys who play in the championship game to consistently perform at the Combine. If they do, they're probably not going to perform all that well, at least to the peak of their abilities.
Well, and you know this too. We've talked about this before, but your last season in college, if you go on to the NFL, I mean, you're not coming up for air until you get done with your rookie season in the NFL. So you have to think all the way back to this summer when these guys started camp. What was that, August 1st, I think is when they started camp this year. So they play all the way through August 1st. They've got camp. They go through an entire regular season. You play 16 regular season games. Then you've got a month-long break where it's not really a break. I mean, you're still working to be able to go to the Combine. You get to the Combine, and then you've got the draft coming up a little bit later on. As soon as you're drafted, Bob, it's not hangout time. It's getting ready to go for your rookie season in the NFL. These dudes are not coming up for air for the better part of, 20 months, 2 years.
So pro day a couple weeks after that. And, then they have, as soon as you pro day, then you have workouts and visits, and then you have the draft, and then you are going to your location, and you're on a sprint from that point till the end of the season trying to get all that stuff finished up and figured out. So, it's not an easy situation by any stretch to navigate as a rookie. It's very hard. That's why they have that rookie, people call it the rookie wall around, Halloween, Thanksgiving, because guys just start running out of gas. Like, without any real downtime, it's very, very difficult to be able to go that length of time, preparation, training in a high-intensity environment. And that's why, you look at anything where guys are doing this stuff, whether it's the military, people take time off, step away, go do something else for a couple weeks, and then they're able to come back with their minds and bodies refreshed just because you don't have any more mental focus to be able to direct at something.
So I thought Dan Hope and Matt Guttridge of 11 Warriors did a good job on this. They combined a bunch of mock drafts. I want to say that there's probably 15 or 20 mock drafts on here, and they picked out every Buckeye who is available in these mock drafts to say where they would go. Starts you off with who's likely going to be the first pick of the Buckeyes to go, and it was unfortunate we didn't get to see a full season out of him. Josh Simmons, who is going to be likely picked in the first round. Some people have him as their best offensive tackle on the boards. Josh Simmons, and here's where it gets crazy. It's mock drafts. It all depends on the publication that you're looking at and where you could end up going. Josh Simmons is predicted to go from anywhere from 11th in the NFL draft. And again, these are all according to mock drafts, so don't yell at me about it. These are all mocks.
These are not yours.
These are someone else's. Number 11 to the 49ers, all the way to 65 for the Giants. That is a wide range for Josh Simmons.
Well, when you have a guy who's coming off a torn patellar tendon, you're going to have range like that because every team's risk profile is different.
Mm-hmm.
No different than when I'm flying on a plane and I want to say just take off, duct tape over the gas hole, the fuel, let's go. We don't have a gas cap, I'm fine. Some people go, I'd rather just get there safely. I don't. I'd rather take more risk and get there on time.
Maybe even a bit early.
Yeah, and that's the risk profile for every team is different. Some teams are more comfortable drafting a guy who has an injury history or is coming off an injury history, and they view that saying, hey, we think this guy, because there's reviews of him, if he wouldn't have been injured, he would have been a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, hey, we can get a top 5 tackle at 15. We think he's going to come back healthy. We're getting a steal. He wouldn't have normally been there for us.
And or on the other side, that patellar tendon is a beast to recover from.
Maybe it's worse. And maybe he doesn't get. And maybe you have to factor in okay, well, maybe he would have been this, but he's not going to probably be able to play a whole lot his first year. Or maybe he comes in late. Because of that, he's not going to play all that well. And so you're punting on the first year. Maybe we view him as a late first. Or you're saying, hey, you know what? The guy is really talented. We have no idea. It's a tough injury to come back from. We're going to put a second-round grade on him. At that point, we find value there, but we're not going to roll the dice any more than that. And that's every team and every organization because people are like, how could this be so different?
Yeah.
Every team has a different risk profile.
Every team has different needs.
And they're different needs and but how they view injuries and different injuries, guys coming off of them. Some people lean into the doctors more of what they say. Some teams are I don't care about that. If the coaches say this guy can play, our doctors will be able to get him back and our physical therapists. So there's a number of ways to look at this.
So an average draft position grade, again, this is on 11 Warriors if you want to go read it. Average draft position grade or projection to where he's going to be drafted is 22.75. And that's the highest of any Buckeye in this class. A much less wide range coming in at number 2 at a 23.25 average draft projection is Emeka Egbuka. They've got Emeka going anywhere from 12 to the Cowboys to 33 at the Browns. That's a nice window for Emeka.
It is probably back half of the first round. Yeah. And that's probably where you see Mech going. That makes a lot of sense with how good he is. He's not crazy elite with physical traits to be the point where you put somebody in the top 5, but he's really good at what he does.
He is damn silky.
People described him very similarly to Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's been very, very successful and went in the first round and has had a good start to his career in Seattle.
It'd be interesting to see this guy coming up. Average draft projection of 31.4. Donovan Jackson, because you look at what Donovan did, obviously very, very good All-American caliber level at the guard position. And then they kicked him out to tackle, Bob, and he was one of the best tackles in college football as well. So what does Donovan do? How do they look at him in the NFL draft? Donovan's highest mock draft roundup goes from number 10 to the Bears all the way down to 58 with the Texans. But that's tell you what, man, if I'm sitting in an NFL locker room and you need a guy who you know is going to be a solid plug-and-play, dude's going to be a leader, look no further than him.
Well, him playing left tackle this year, I think, showed people that he could play tackle. Now, he's probably not left tackle in the NFL, but could he play right tackle? Okay, well, there's a lot of value in that.
Isn't there value as well of him performing elite at both positions, too?
There is, but you can only play at one, so they've got to figure that out of how you evaluate him and what you're going to ask him to do. Now, there is position versatility, and that's key. But when you're drafting a guy that high, maybe you could start him at guard, slide him to tackle. Left guard's a very important position as well. But yes, he has that versatility. So some teams, I think he did increase his value by being able to play tackle. It showed people that he can do that, and he's gifted enough to be able to. So it'll be curious to see kind of where teams envision him playing, because I don't know if that was ever in the selection set coming into this year. And so, necessity, is the mother of all invention, and maybe he just invented himself as a tackle there as well.
I'm a hybrid guy. Yeah, you saw Joe Thuney do that late in the season for the Chiefs as well. Moved from guard to tackle. Ultimately, didn't work out great for him in the Super Bowl. Was also going against a gnarly defensive line in the Eagles. Coming in at number 4 for the Buckeyes, average draft projection of 35.7. Tyleik Williams, all the way from first round pick number 24 to the Vikings, all the way down to 56 with the Bills. I love Tyleik's ability. I think he's going to be a star at the next level. I really do. I mean, his get-off-the-ball ability, Bob, you know this. You go to practice. It is quick. It is quick, and he is strong, and whoever's going to take Tyleik Williams, I think, is going to find themselves some nice value in the draft.
Yeah. I mean, he's really good, penetrator inside. You saw how here's the thing. He didn't have a lot of eye-popping stats, but he had a lot of production from a standpoint. He was living in the backfield, and people see that on film. You may not be the guy that makes the play, but you're the guy that creates the play. And Tyleik definitely had a lot of that this season. And, he played really well. His weight was under control. He looked explosive, looked fast, and he was a dominator inside. And, with the way the NFL's gone, it used to always be the edge rusher. I mean, now the guys inside that can create havoc are just as valuable.
For sure. Look at a Chris Jones type. Not saying that Tyleik's going to be a Chris Jones, but that's the shining example. Aaron Donald doing it for years out in L.A. Those are the kind of guys you're talking about. We'll do one more here. Jack Sawyer, slated to go for anywhere from 17th to the Bengals all the way to 61st to the Commies in the second round. Average draft projection of 38.1. What more can you say about Jack? You're getting obviously a great Ohio guy, a guy who's very proud from where he comes from, and a dude who had one of the best stretches in Ohio State defensive history leading into what was ultimately a national championship.
Oh, he was really good. Really stinking good. So, he's not Jack isn't the most dynamic athlete off the edge. Him and JT are very similar with how I view them. They're big, they're physical guys, and Jack made a lot of big plays at the end of this season and showed some versatility there and big play performance. Neither of those guys are going to go out there and run 4.5s in the 40.
It's not their game.
It's not their game, but they're strong, they're physical, they're powerful, and there's a spot for guys like that to be able to be really good in the NFL and highly productive.
We'll get to more of that a little bit later on in the show. Tell you where the rest of the Buckeyes could be going in April's NFL draft. For now, Lindsay Patterson from WKRQ in Cincinnati. She's going to join us. We'll talk apparent Bengals spending spree with her coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. We are still watching crews clear out one crash on the west side. This is on I-70 eastbound, just east of State Route 142. Watch for the right shoulder slightly blocked over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424
2424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
All right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our good friend, WKRQ, down in the Queen City. She is Lindsay Patterson. Linz, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Bengals making a lot of news here, supposedly, this offseason. Going to tag T. Higgins, reportedly. You got until mid-July to do a contract extension with him. Do you like this move, Lindsay, coming out of Cincinnati, and kind of what's being reported on so far from the Bengals?
Yeah, I think it's the least you can do when you think about the T outlook for the Cincinnati Bengals. The one thing I didn't want them to do is just let him walk in free agency, which is 2.5 weeks away, and that was definitely a possibility. I think they're going to wait till the very last minute in the tag deadline to tag T if they don't have the extension complete. I do feel like this franchise tag is a little bit different from last year where, yes, he just played on the franchise tag. I think they do want to do well and good by T and get the extension done because you can't keep letting your good players go. And Joe Burrow has said it plenty of times, T is in need.
How much do you think the pressure, Lindsay, of Joe saying those things publicly and talking about the Eagles signing everybody or perception of signing everybody is playing into the decisions of that front office?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely huge. Joe and Duke Tobin in the front office, they always talk at the end of every season, kind of just to talk back about the overall outlook of what just happened and what the offseason is going to look like. And Joe has really been saying it for a few months now. It was after the Dallas Cowboys game and they won, and he just brought up T. Higgins and said he was a huge need, and they're going to do everything they can to bring T. Higgins back. And I think a lot of people were surprised. But also T. Higgins has shown, I want to say in Cincinnati, he changed his agent, leaving David Malagueta, one of the top NFL agents, to sign with Jamar Chase's agent. I think that was just telling them all, hey, I want to stay here if it's possible. Obviously, they can't lowball him. They need to give him that fair market value. It's not going to be what he would get in the open market, but they need to work that out and do good by T. Higgins to keep him here. And, of course, the quarterback saying, we need to keep him here was huge for them.
Do you have any idea, Lindsay, of what that could possibly look like? I know it's going to look different than the Jamar Chase contract. I have a hard time comprehending what that number is going to be for the Bengals, but we'll stick on T for just a second. And what do you think a fair market deal for him would look like this free agency period?
Yeah, I think it's going to look around 27 to 28 million. And obviously, if he was in the open market, I wouldn't even be surprised if he could hit 30 for a year, just because of the wide receiver room and free agency and then just this draft class overall. But at the same time, I think the Cincinnati Bengals need to change their structure. It's something that they've struggled with over the last few years, and it's the guaranteed money after the first year. If they can work that in, and even if it's incentives in the third year, all of that to just add up a little more when it comes to the value per year. But I'm still around the 27 to 28 million, and that could really go into June or July by the time they do get that extension done.
So Chase, Higgins, and Hendrickson all want/need new deals, depending on where they're at in that category. How many of those guys actually get them, and do you think all three of those guys will be on the team come the 2025 start of the season?
I think all three are going to be on the team. I mean, I think Jamar Chase is obviously it sounds crazy to say this, the easiest one to say, yep, that's getting done. I have no fear because it's insane because he's going to make insane money around.
You just pay him what you got to pay him, right?
You just do. I mean, he bet on, he didn't bet on himself because he did want the deal done before the season, but he deserves $40 million plus a year, and he's going to get that. And it's just one of those things where they just drag out these contract extensions. So I do think we're going to be going into those early July days, and they're still working out a few. But here's the thing. I think there's so many outlooks and storylines when it comes to the Bengals paying guys like, oh, they're cheap, or, oh, they don't have enough space. Why are they spending this much money? If you look at the overall outlook in 2 years, Joe Burrow is the only big contract and really the only contract they have on the books. I mean, so many other teams have other guys to pay, and it really wouldn't be that bad because the cap's going to continue to go up, and they'd really just have Trey, Jamar, Joe, and T on the books in a few years. And I think it would be smart because they can't keep letting their homegrown. And I know Trey Hendrickson was a free agent they picked up, but the other guys, you can't keep letting them go. You got to keep them. And Joe mentioned that a few times after post games when you look at the Jesse Bates outlook and what happened with him. Continue to pay your guys. It's easy. You got good guys on the team. Don't let them go.
She is Lindsay Patterson of WKRQ with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What you brought up, Lindsay, I think is so interesting in the narrative around the Bengals. And yeah, I mean, we know you can look to the past and say that, you know, they're not a franchise that's willing to mortgage their future. They're always maybe nickel and diming here or there. But I think it's fascinating to look at what you just said and like, oh, you can't pay all these guys because look at what it does to the cap compared to, oh, look at the Bengals. They're not paying anybody. Like, the truth is somewhere in the middle there, and it does look like they may change that, knowing exactly what they have in these core guys if they're able to manage these three contract situations.
Yeah, and you can't have your franchise quarterback. I mean, sooner or later, he's going to get frustrated, and he probably already is after this season. You know, he played his best football career, and they didn't make the playoffs. So I think, you know, all of that should be extremely important. And it's not that I don't believe Joe Burrow can go out there and play without T. Higgins or anything like that, but it's just don't let talent out the door. And I think the overall picture is, yeah, the Bengals need to change the way they do things. They need to change the structure of their contracts. They need to pay the guys early. T. Higgins should have had a contract 2 years ago, and we would look at it as a steal right now. So look at where you are in the market, spend the money on your guys, and it's just going to keep going up and up, and you're going to, you know, hopefully hit on some of these draft picks because that's something that they haven't been able to do, and that's why they're in the position they are, that they can pay T, Trey, Jamar.
Is there a buzz and excitement about Al Golden coming back?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because you watch the national championship game, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, no, why did he let Jeremiah Smith wide open there on that play? But at the same time, he's been here before. He got a lot of value out of the linebacker room when he was here. Obviously, Jermaine Pratt, I do feel like his time in Cincinnati is coming down to just a few days. We'll see what that looks like. But overall, you just needed a change of voice, and there's nothing against Lou Anarumo. I'm rooting for him with the Colts. I hope it goes really well. But after a while, when Russell Wilson cooks you for almost 500 yards at home and he never looked at this game again, it's time to move on. And it was just one of their biggest things that they struggled with when it comes to development and getting the youth out there on the field versus some of the older guys. So I think this offseason is going to look a little different in the defensive room. Some of the guys who have been here, maybe they've held on for a little too long, are going to move on. And I think that's what's best when you think of the defensive side. And I think Al Golden is just a refresher to come back to, you know, when he was here for a few years and what he's going to be able to do as a defensive coordinator, what he did at Notre Dame, and obviously two different leagues. You're going college to the NFL, but I think it's gonna be a refreshing difference on the defensive side.
How much is this roster defensively going to look different compared to what it did last year, Lindsay? Cap casualties, incoming draft picks. Like, I would have to feel that it's going to look a little bit different at the start of the season than what it did these past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to just look and guess right now on the defensive side and guys they're going to say goodbye to, I would say Sam Hubbard, Sheldon Rankins, to be determined with Geno Stone. I know I just mentioned Jermaine Pratt. I think he's out the door. And then you cut so many of those guys and you open up a lot of room. Sam Hubbard alone, if they move on from him, that's $10 million extra that they would receive in 2025. So I think there's some easier decisions when you do think of the youth and the guys who are starting to get reps down the stretch. The cornerback room, Dax Hill, Hill is going to be coming back from injury. G.J. Turner's coming back from injury. You're hoping Cam Taylor-Britt can have a bounce-back year. It'd be a huge contract year for him. I think, the main focus for them right now when you look at this draft class is it's heavy in defensive tackle, and that's exactly what the Cincinnati Bengals need. So I wouldn't be surprised if they double-dip in the first round, second round, and obviously they're going to be open to safety. So you take advantage of going heavy on the defensive side, and hopefully you can develop. And I think that's what they're hoping to get out of Al Golden when it comes to some of these younger guys and being able to put them on the field.
Any idea if Mike Gesicki's going to get re-signed as well? I know we talked about the three of most importance, but Joe is also open and adamant that he wanted Mike Gesicki back in Cincinnati.
I think he would love that. When you think of Mike Gesicki, I think we think of him more as their slot wide receiver versus a tight end, and he's just been super reliable. When T would go down, Jamar would go down, he would be another option for Joe Burrow. And I know Joe wants him back, but at the same time, he does a really good job of getting tight ends paid. So I wouldn't be surprised if his market value is a little bit higher and he lands on another team, but hopefully he comes back. I can't guarantee it right now with the other three getting paid, but would love to be surprised. And you know what? If he gets more money in the open market, good for Mike.
Lindsay, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Good to talk to you guys.
There she goes, Lindsay Patterson from WKRQ down in the Queen City of Cincinnati with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Is there any fix to NBA All-Star Weekend? We'll do that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing
Good morning.
Services
Right now, we are
Traffic
still
Center.
watching a crash on I-70 eastbound on the west side. This is just past State Route 142. Watch for the left lane blocked off over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan traffic.
Are you feeling tired, slower, or achier than you used to? You might think it's just age, but it could be low testosterone. At Columbus Men's Clinic, they've helped thousands of men who didn't realize their symptoms were caused by declining testosterone levels, a problem that's becoming a new norm in American men. Columbus Men's Clinic refuses to accept this new normal. They're committed to restoring testosterone to healthy levels so you can feel like yourself again, whether at home, in the gym, at work, or in the bedroom. For years, their medical provider has delivered testosterone therapy tailored to each man's needs. No one-size-fits-all solutions, just real science-backed results delivered by discreet local experts. Imagine more energy, sharper focus, and newfound confidence. A same-day testosterone check and consultation is just $99. Call 614-300-7400 or visit ColumbusMen'sClinic.com today. Your prime years aren't over. They're just waiting to be unleashed. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
A system for every home and every budget at Logan AC and Heat Services. Get a free Trane furnace with the purchase of an air conditioner and tax credits up to $2,600. Schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Ready to hit the road in a new car? With Pathways, enjoy up to 90 days with no payments and low auto loan rates. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
I'm Rick Reichert. Our customers drive from Springfield, Cincinnati, even Akron for Reichert Ford's President's Day Super Sale. The entire Reichert Ford team has been working double time to stock more vehicles and slash even more prices. And we're dealing. Lease new 2024 hybrid F-150s for just $599 a month for 36 months. Zero down. Or lease new 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. Also, zero down. And every new Ford comes with Reichert Ford's exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty. So don't drive all over Ohio going to smaller dealers with fewer vehicles at higher prices. Reichert Ford's President's Day Super Sale is on now at the largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio at Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. Based on 2024 Ford report for total new retail sales. Cincinnati region, leases on approved credit, no security deposit required, ends 3/1. Come in now.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, people are officially going crazy over our sleek, black-framed windows. They change the entire look of a home.
Leslie, nobody believes that just black frames can change the look of a home.
It's like when Superman put on his black-framed glasses and became Clark Kent.
Wait a second. Clark Kent is Superman? Are you messing with me right now?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at the Fan decided we needed more baseball. and that common man is stupid. Good news, we fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on the Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Michelle Smallman here. Want to be at the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Travel Wisconsin is sending 10 lucky fans and a guest to the draft. Experience the thrill of the draft firsthand and make memories that will last a lifetime. Don't wait. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes. Visit travelwisconsin.com/draft to learn how you can win a trip to experience the biggest moment of the offseason. Epic moments that become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Terms and conditions apply.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Wednesday. Cold Wednesday. It's all right. I think we're going to get through it here this weekend.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
It keeps getting warmer and warmer and warmer through the week. 23 tomorrow, 29 Friday, mid-30s Saturday, back into near the 50s next week, Shark. Winter is over. You can rejoice in that.
It's supposed to get a little snow here the next day or two, I think.
That's right, Bob. We could wake up to a dusting to a half an inch by tomorrow morning.
They said they're supposed to get more down south, which that always worries me.
That snow's not going to go anywhere until next week.
No, it's all right, though. If it's gone when I get before
it's
I leave
all right for you. You're going cruising. Not okay for me.
Well, you can go.
I can go with you.
You want to come? I don't
have Courtney's
in
your suitcase.
Courtney's not coming. I mean, they got an extra spot. You know, you can slide on in with me if you want.
Why isn't she going this year?
My wife's a loser. That's why. Simple solution.
Okay. You know, when the
one bed or two bed situation.
That's a great question. Probably one, but I mean, it's big. There's room to share, Shark.
When the cat's away, the mice will play. Maybe I'll give her a call next week, Bob. See how she's doing.
Oh, yeah. Looking for a single mother of 4. Sign me up.
Did we play Quick Hitters? I guess we did.
I'm playing it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably want me to start this then. Right?
You can do whatever you want.
By most accounts, the NBA's All-Star game format was better than last year's game.
Was it?
When there were nearly 400 points scored in the game. Still, going to 4 squads, first team to 40 points wasn't ideal. Maybe the NBA can look to the NHL for some ideas. Can't really do a 4 nations tournament because that would be unfair. The U.S. would clean house on that. But there is some support.
Know. How come in the Olympics it seems to be more of a challenge than we like?
Because we're using not our best players. In the All-Star game, we would. But anyway.
Really? I don't know if all those guys are playing, not if they're playing for realsies.
And we do clean up in the Olympics, except for 1 year, Bob. Anyway, there is some support for doing a U.S. versus the world.
I like that.
All-Star game.
A real Ryder Cup situation.
2 players who are in favor are Giannis and Wemby, who would, of course, be playing for the world squad.
And Kyrie.
Think about these guys on the world team as well.
Australia.
Beamer, Jokic, and Luka, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Karl Anthony Towns. They could put up a pretty good squad.
Anthony Bennett
is Canadian, but he's no longer in the league.
Okay.
Beamer, and hasn't been for about 5 years.
I didn't see that Kyrie came out and said that he's playing for Australia in 2026.
How about Peja Stojakovic?
Him too.
Yeah, I don't remember where's Stojakovic from.
Those guys are all from the former Yugoslavia.
Tony Parker.
Yeah, but the former.
I don't care. It's 1 of 6. Yeah. Whatever. It's like the Northwest Territory. They're from the Midwest.
Former Soviet Union, which is now 13 separate nations.
Not if Putin has anything to say about it.
Tim Duncan, like all these guys.
Taking them back.
I don't know what they can do about the All-Star weekend. I didn't watch any of the.
Get rid of it. It's terrible.
I didn't watch.
I used to love the All-Star weekend.
Same, man.
I used to sit there and I remember I'd be like, gosh, it's Bird versus Karl Malone and Clyde Dry. I'd sit there and watch it. I remember watching, Jordan in the dunk contest and Spud Webb in the dunk contest.
Even Shaq and Kobe.
Oh,
and when LeBron was getting going, like KG and Pierce, all the way back to the mid to late 2000s.
It was a big deal. Like Jordan's last All-Star game going against guys. It was a big deal. And people actually cared about the competitions, and it was a rite of passage, and everybody did it in the right way. And now, honestly, I glanced at it. I give it a real glance, Armstrong. I'm like, this is terrible. I'd rather go watch paint dry.
I was listening, and PK Subban does a really good job for ESPN.
He's great.
I was listening to him talk about this because they were all breaking it down, and he goes, what the staunch difference is in reality is anytime you go into a hockey game. He goes, when you're playing 5-on-5 and you're playing best v best, he's like, it doesn't matter what is at stake. But as soon as you put, and you had made this point earlier in the week, Bob, as soon as you put, your country's flag on your jersey and you're representing it, it becomes an entirely different story. And fans are paying $1,500 to get into the Bell Center to watch USA versus Canada. And God knows what the price is going to be in Boston for tomorrow's game in the title match. He was like, but fans, he's like, but fans understand what they're paying for. Because in hockey, it's inherently dangerous if you don't have your head on a swivel and you're not giving 100%. Like, you're going to go out there and get hurt.
It turns into the Pro Bowl, which is what kind of the All-Star game, they were doing the 3-on-3 stuff and different things. But when you put your flag on there, man, and you're playing for real, like the Prime Minister was in Montreal. Like, I'm curious to see if Trump will be there in Boston.
I think the general manager of USA Hockey said that.
They get him there. The 51st state, Canada, we're playing for rights to own it. Get the flag out there. I would love to see if Canada won if they tried to plant the flag at center ice. What would happen?
I'm going to talk about a real fisticuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those guys, they care about this. It matters a lot. Yeah. And so if it doesn't matter, guys aren't going to play hard.
Brad Marchand planting the Canadian flag in Boston where he plays.
Oh, it'd be so amazing.
Yeah, the juxtaposition on that would be weird. But yeah, I would like to see that. I mean, if we go world versus USA, yeah, that'd be all right. I mean, it's got to be better than what it is now, right?
Anything's better. Andy Dalton has quietly put together a very solid NFL career, 14 seasons, 3 Pro Bowls, more than 39,000 passing yards and 253 touchdowns, and he will be back for a 15th season. Dalton is now 37 years old, but has signed a 2-year contract to back up Bryce Young with the Panthers. He was eligible for free agency, Bobby, but man, that red hair looks awesome in Carolina blue.
It does look good. Congratulations to him. I think he's got like another $1 million or $2 million more in there with incentives if he starts. He's got like 6 of it guaranteed.
Over $110 million in his career.
Good for him, man. Like, good for him. Like, you started for a long time. You got the most of your ability. You're a good dude. You're a smart guy.
Got to the playoffs a bunch.
Yeah, never won really. But outside of that, like, people like you mentoring guys. And so you can make another second act of this and probably go make another cool 25 to 30 million over like 4 or 5 years just hanging around, being ready when called upon, mentoring a young guy, and not being a jerk in the locker room.
I remember the situation, too, which unfolded in Carolina last year. Like, Dave Canales came out and said, guys, we have to bench Bryce Young. We're going to bench him, and we're going to go with Andy Dalton, because if not, then there's a jeopardy of us losing the locker room and guys not knowing and understanding of kind of what's going on. So Andy Dalton comes in. He's serviceable. He gets hurt, gets in a car accident, is out, and then Bryce Young comes back and looks to be pretty good. So it's actually a really good job. And I know that we like to make fun of David Tepper here on this show, but it was a good job by Dave Canales in handling that situation because Andy looked to be all right. And then Bryce Young came back and he looked way better than what he did before he got sat down. And so I think Bryce Young came out and said, like, me and Andy are great friends. Like, he's a great role model in the locker room.
That's why he can keep getting these jobs, because the starters love him and he's not a threat. I'll come in and start and I'll be really good, but when it's your job moving forward.
And I'm going to help you the best of my abilities, right? I'm going to help you, and we're going to help each other in the locker room. So, yeah, I mean, it's a story that won't really go anywhere. And, I mean, for Bryce Young's sake, you hope that Andy Dalton doesn't start. But it's a great offseason move by Carolina in retaining the services of what is a very good backup quarterback. It seems, speaking of quarterbacks, that the Buckeye quarterback battle has already begun. That's coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still watching crews clear out a crash on the west side on I-70 eastbound. This is just past State Route 142. Watch for lanes blocked over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Let Diamond Seller's Blue Box be a part of your forever. Join us February 21st and 22nd for Wedding Weekend and save big on wedding and anniversary bands. Plus, enjoy special no-interest financing on engagement rings. Visit Diamond Seller on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
It's Senior Day at the Schottenstein Center on Sunday, February 23rd at 12 p.m. Join Ohio State women's basketball at the Schottenstein Center to honor the seniors as they take on Purdue. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets and gear up for game day at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Back in the studio with a return visit from
Todd Schmelt.
Todd, the last time you were with us, you claimed to be
the dumbest person in Columbus.
You're being really hard on yourself.
Not in the least. You know what I got?
I hate to ask.
One of them thermostats with the dial and the needle. Woo, woo, woo.
Maybe that's not modern, but not.
What am I? Eli Whitney, Elias Howe, Johann Gertis?
I don't know who those people are.
Those are old-timey people from the 19th century, and that's me. Outdated, like my silly old thermostat.
Okay, look, you're not the dumbest guy in Columbus. You just haven't called Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Those guys. Whether it's the latest technology, fixing your furnace, or a brand new system, they know all the stuff so you don't have to.
I don't have to know it all?
Nah, you just have to know the pros who knows.
Apex Pros. I'm not the dumbest guy in Columbus.
I didn't even know who Johann Gertis was.
Inventor of the gas-powered unicycle. Look it up, doy.
Okay, you don't have to be mean.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC. Buckeyes lead the way.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
Guys, let's talk about something real. Ever had a bad experience in the bedroom that totally threw you off? It messes with your head, your confidence, and suddenly it's all you can think about. Next thing you know, you're avoiding trying altogether because the fear of failure is just too much. That's where Columbus Men's Clinic comes in. For over a decade, their medical providers have been helping men overcome ED and providing hope even when the pills and other treatments have failed. Their proven personalized treatments have some of the highest success rates out there, with results that bring back your confidence and connection. It's important to get your ED treated now so that it doesn't get harder to treat down the road. Columbus Men's Clinic has treatments that online pharmacies only dream about. Tonight is your night for intimacy and connection. Call Columbus Men's Clinic today at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation is discreet and could be the start of something incredible. 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. And let's make tonight unforgettable. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
This Black History Month, National University honors those who have broken barriers and paved the way for future generations. If you're a parent and a professional, a dreamer and a doer, NU is here to support you with flexible online classes and career-focused resources, so you can earn your degree while balancing work, family, and everything in between. Visit nu.edu to learn more. That's nu.edu.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark Bishark. There were 3 games in the Big Ten last night. 2 of them involved ranked teams. Number 11, Wisconsin whipped Illinois 95-74. 14th ranked Michigan State knocked off number 13 Purdue 75-66. And Minnesota went to Los Angeles and upset UCLA 64-61. Dawson Garcia scored 32 points for the Gophers, who didn't take their first lead until there were 8 seconds left in the game. The Bruins blew a 17-point first-half lead. The Big Ten standings show Michigan on top at 12-2. Michigan State is 12-3. Wisconsin 11-4. Purdue 11-5. Ohio State is 7-8 and returns to action tomorrow night at home against Northwestern. This Sports Center is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give Mark Levy a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour 2 for us here on a Wednesday.
Let me tell you this. So yesterday I'm driving back. Where was I coming from? Oh, I was coming from Rooster Shark, getting you your wings to the podcast.
That was the new location.
It was awesome.
It looks sweet.
It's really good. It's really nice over there on Morse Road. I'm coming back from that, and I'm listening to the opening of Rothman and Ice. You can hear from noon to 3 on The Fan. Number one midday show in the mid-market.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. And Rothman was telling Maddie how he's back in Chicago, going around, seeing all the things from the famous movies, from Ferris Bueller and from Risky Business. And Maddie's like, did you go to Jordan's home? Go see that. He's like, no, somebody bought that. I didn't get a chance to go buy it. That's on the west side of Chicago. They start breaking it down. He goes, I guess someone bought it, and you can rent it for March Madness for the month on like Airbnb or Vrbo or something.
What knows what that
It was like $230,000
a month.
And it was like Rothman broke it down. He's like, it's like $7,000 a night. He goes, we got 7 or 8 bedrooms. And Rothman's like, what is it by the hour? As I'm exactly. Because Maddie's like, yeah, I wonder that. And I'm like, what do you mean by the hour? Like, who calculates renting it? That's what I said.
He does.
So I called in. I'm like, Rothman, you wanted to get so granular with this that you got down to renting something by the hour? You rent a lot of things.
You're missing the big picture here, AR, and what you're putting out on a public platform.
Exactly. I was like, you rent a lot of things by the hour, Rothman? I go, because really, if you're going to start talking hourly rentals.
It's a great hotel by my house that I'm pretty sure they do things by the hour.
He broke it down to like, oh, it was like $310 an hour. He goes, that's not bad. I take a couple hours in there. I'm like, well, Rothman, if we're really going to get it, why don't you divide it by the number of bedrooms? We'll just call it a day.
Sure.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Only need one. Maybe 2.
Whose mind goes to that? I'm ever thinking of renting something.
No. What is the hourly cost on this?
Why does that matter? If I'm going to rent it, I'm renting it like it's for the day. Like I've never asked like a hotel, any of those things.
I'm getting in late at night. I'm really just going to be here from 10 until 7 when I leave. Can I get a 9-hour rate?
It's remarkable. Like the fact that that's where his mind went was crazy to me. And then him and Maddie, I don't know how they started talking about all different months of the year. And Maddie goes, how many months are in March this year? Or how many days are in March this year? And he's like, well, it's 30 or 31, but it's the same every year. I'm like,
yeah.
And Maddie's like,
30 days, had September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31.
He had some sort of knuckle weight account, like going around, like, I don't know, where you count one twice and the ones that are middle knuckle. I don't know. It was some crazy thing. I couldn't see it because him and Maddie were talking about it. But I'm like, the stuff that's going on right now in here with Rothman talking about renting rooms by the hour and Maddie asking how many days are in March this year and Rothman talking about a couple knuckles deep on something. I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. I'm like, I had to call in. I had to like, Colin. Yeah, by the way, I text Colin saying, I just met your dad. Like, I met him out there. He's buddies with Keel. So,
yeah, he is.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And he's like, I'm
they're
Colin's
fast
dad.
friends.
Yeah. nice thick mop on Colin's
They
dad,
find that
too.
ironic?
The worst thing ever would be to have a dad with a full head of hair and you be bald.
Yeah, he got jaded.
I mean, that happens. I mean, it's usually it's more on the your maternal grandfather, and there's some other attributes and things that go into it and traits. But yeah, like to look at your dad who's like 55 or 60, and you're a 30-year-old man.
That should have been me.
And you've got like nothing. You had to shave it down.
He's
That'd
got
be tough.
nothing.
Yeah. Well, they call him Evil Bald Colin for a reason.
Yes, correct. They don't call him Evil Mop Colin.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
A whole lot happening yesterday. Buckeye women's basketball at Indiana tomorrow. Men's basketball at home against Northwestern. You got USA Canada tomorrow as well. So we got a Power Pack Thursday for you.
They had a Roosters grand opening.
Had a Roosters grand opening yesterday too. Meredith got back from Vegas. Told you that around 12:30ish on Tuesday morning. So yesterday was always going to be a tough day.
How was she feeling yesterday after work?
Well, I'll tell you how she was feeling. Bad, because she had also had a dentist appointment scheduled right after work. And it wasn't just a cleaning either. Like it was some like actual dental work. No, it wasn't a root canal, but she'd been having some issues, and I don't know if it was a cracked tooth or whatever, but it was supposed to go on from.
Was she opening beer bottles with her teeth again?
It may have been. Like 2:30 to 3:30, and it's 4:15, and I text her. I'm like, "Are you all right? Like, are you doing okay in there?"
Did she fall asleep in the chair?
Didn't fall asleep in the chair. Apparently, they had a spot bob that they couldn't get numb.
That's the best. You got to tell them just to go at that point.
And she did.
Yeah.
And she did. And she got home last night, probably around 5:00 after no sleep, big travel day, and yeah, it was not a good situation.
If you can't get it numb, be like, "Listen, give me." Because they're like, if it shoot it again. Like my mouth is so sensitive when it comes to that stuff. I've told people, they've kept shooting me, and I go up, especially in the front, my whole face. I won't be able to feel anything. It would be like
feel my face.
I mean, my face is numb on the point of delirium beam. On my own, here we go. They could shoot 5 shots of Novocaine, it won't hit some of the spots. And they said, I got like the bridge of my mouth smashed and knocked my tooth out. They go, sometimes that'll reroute the nerves, and it's really tough to get a nerve block on it. I said, okay. It's like, just go. I'm going to feel it, and it's going to suck balls, and I know it. So let me just grab onto these armrests as hard as possible.
Grip it and rip it.
And grip it and rip it.
Ugh, God.
And I'm going to smell of the burning of the teeth.
That's the worst part is the smell.
The tooth bits flying all around your mouth.
Ugh.
It's all there for you.
It really is.
It's beautiful.
So she had a tough day yesterday. Willie had a tough day yesterday, too, because we were doing screen detox with him.
Yeah, it's your mom was in town, dude. Just feeding him the screens.
I know. It was bad.
It's your fault letting it happen.
It was bad.
The behavior,
I told her 100 times.
The behavior you see is either taught or allowed, Beam. Tell her
I'm allowing it. I know.
Do you want to die without seeing your grandson one more time? You got to ask. You got to ask the real questions, Beam. Listen. I'll send you a picture once a week.
Are you willing to die for a chicken?
Exactly. Somebody is.
Somebody is.
Are you willing to die without seeing your grandson in the flesh again? If you keep feeding him these screens, Mom, because you just give him the drugs, and I got to deal with the aftermath.
Hold it. Look at pictures. Hold it. Look at pictures. No, dude.
Yeah, because that's all Grandma does with you. You just sit there and scroll through.
Dude, scrolly fun time. That's it.
You and me, Ma, just sit there and scroll around all day.
Yesterday, at some point before we got to dinner, like he's got a Tony's box, which is. I don't know. You can put sounds on things, and you put it on top of a speaker, and it plays that, which is fine. Like that's cool. That's a good little thing that he has. And at one point yesterday, he's just laying in his room after not seeing a screen for multiple hours,
just exhausted
since like 2:00, and he's just laying on his room on his back, moving his arms in the air, listening to the music. I'm like, see, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's what you need to do.
But you got to get him away from it, man. It's hard. The screens, like. They talk about there's a reason, Beam. You can't say they're not addictive. Like, look at your little almost 2-year-old. You take the screen.
I'm addicted to it. And I know I'm addicted to it. And it's nice for me that I put it down when I'm playing with him.
And you have a mature brain or mature-ish. Like, his brain is still developing, fucker. It's a sponge.
Yeah, it really is.
And so he's just absorbing all of these different images and everything, and it just takes over.
Well, everything, too, is just, it's so quick that he's doing.
Yeah.
Like we're just scrolling through pictures at lightning speed. It's not like he's looking at it. I mean, we're just scrolling.
He just wants the movement and activity. It's crazy.
Yeah, straight up. Just so much stimulus. So we're trying to detox him. Hopefully day 2 goes all right. Better than day number one. What do you think about the Buckeye quarterback position this year, Bob? Because Ryan Day, on his interview with Dom Tiberi that he had last week, said it's going to be a fierce competition. Lincoln and Julian, Tavian, we're excited to see those guys compete. We're going to chart everything. Everything will be a competition. I feel like we're going to need everybody, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of growth coming out of the spring and an opportunity for these guys to go take it and run. It's one thing when you're backup. It's another thing entirely when you're actually running it. It seems like it's already underway.
Well, when you're competing for it, too, like that's every rep in practice is getting analyzed, getting scrutinized. You know, I was listening to Dom with Bo. I was really out of my silo yesterday, and he was talking about how he thinks, because Bo was like, do you think it's an open competition? And Dom was like, yeah. And everyone talks about Julian Sayin being the guy.
I think you could say that he would be a front runner.
I think he is. And Tavian St. Clair, and it's really hard as a freshman to play at Ohio State.
Talked about this last year with Aaron Nolan and Julian coming in.
Even as and believe me, Tavian looks good. Like, he physically looks the part. Like, he is physically a very physically impressive young man. It is just so hard on the mental side and the processing side, like to go from high school to college on a team with expectations like this. Like, you're not like, if we go 8-4, that's good. It'll be a learning and growth here.
Like Dylan Raiola in Nebraska last year.
You can do that there. You can't do that here. And so it's really, really difficult, especially that position. It's tough at any position, but people get fooled by J.J. Smith as if that's easy. It's not. And quarterback's harder than any other one. So you got that element, but Lincoln Kienholz was hand-selected by Ryan. This is a guy that was the Gatorade High School Player of the Year, three-sport athlete. He wasn't as developed as a quarterback and polished because he played in South Dakota and he played 3 sports. But when you get him here, now he's been in the program for a number of years. The development, you see his body has changed physically. He looks really good. He's strong. He's athletic. He throws a good ball, and he's been in the system now. I think he's got a good chance too. I don't think Ryan's sitting there saying, I hope it's Julian or I hope it's this guy. I'm going to sit here and look at him. I like them all.
Go win it.
Yeah, go win it. And we're going to see. They're not going to pick anybody after the spring. I don't think anybody's going to be that great or that bad where you could make that decision.
Where in the world will this impending Buckeye free agent land this offseason in the NFL? That's coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching a crash on State Route 16 heading westbound just a little bit east of Granville. We're watching delays in those westbound lanes because of a crash. Also still seeing delays on the west side on I-70 eastbound just past State Route 142 from a crash earlier this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for Affinity Whole Health. I've trusted Affinity for 7 years for their testosterone replacement therapy. Why? Because it's natural for our bodies to gradually lose testosterone over time. This leads to brain fog, fatigue, muscle loss, low sex drive, none of the things you want. If you want to feel like you did in your prime and get your energy back, better mood, higher sex drive, increase muscle mass, then get started for free at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Affinity is local. They're accessible. They ship the treatments right to your door. feelgreatcolumbus.com.
At NJM Insurance, we like to think of ourselves as a symphony. We start with a foundation of doing the right thing. Then we layer in dedicated reps whose priority is you. Add in excellent discount programs. And last, but certainly not least, we put our policyholders first. And the reason we don't use jingles or mascots is because it's just not us. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. As football winds down, college basketball is gearing up, and fans are ready to see which teams will prove they are ready to shine in March and who will be seen in San Antonio. You can get on all the action from tip-off to the final whistle at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can bet $10 and get $100 back in bonus bets and unlock 30 days of ESPN Plus. Download the app. Sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
My Perks Appreciation Days, February 21st and 22nd at Giant Eagle. We're saying thanks with 500 bonus perks on $75 on a single transaction February 22nd at Giant Eagle or Market District. Restrictions apply. Visit gianteagle.com/appreciation for details.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Maybe your furnace isn't running so well. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater, or maybe it's just a leaky sink. Let my team take care of you the same way they take care of all my championship buddies. Check us out at carpentercolumbus.com.
Hi, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
When you buy from Pella, you could meet Brad, Bob, maybe Mike, or 54 others that make our local Pella team so awesome.
And if you buy from me, you'll get to meet me.
Just a one-man operation, Wilson?
I've got a bunch of cousins helping me, but based on their work, I'm not sure they've got thumbs.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
It's Senior Day at the Schottenstein Center on Sunday, February 23rd at 12 p.m. Join Ohio State women's basketball at the Schottenstein Center to honor the seniors as they take on Purdue. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets and gear up for game day at OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. This Saturday is the big day at Verizon on Polaris Parkway. Join me 10 to noon as we draw winners to attend the Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series March 1st. Saturday from 10 to noon at Verizon at 1251 Polaris Parkway.
Fish has been named the third best sports program director in the country. Winner. The two dudes who finished ahead of him are dead. So we're declaring him the winner. You're listening to the home of champions, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
How'd you like to wipe out all that credit card debt to start the new year off right? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Stop getting fleeced by the credit card companies. If you own your home, go to AFLcash.com now. Advantage First Lending can help you unlock that equity and get you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's AFLcash.com. You can pay off all your credit cards and other high-interest debt super fast. Consolidate all your bills into one low monthly payment. AFLcash.com can help you tap into your home's equity to give you some serious cash so you can go into 2025 with less stress and more confidence. Get the cash you need from Advantage First Lending now. Most homeowners don't even need an appraisal. How great is that? Get on solid financial footing. Go to AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. 844-394-CASH.
Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy. Today's high will be around 21. Tonight's low, 15. You may wake up to a little bit of snow on the ground tomorrow morning. Quick dusting to a half inch of snow is possible tonight. Thursday, look for a high of 23. Sunshine is back by Friday with a high of 29. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
A little programming note for you. Coming up tomorrow, we usually get to talk to head coach of your Columbus Blue Jackets, Dean Evison, at 7:30 on Thursdays. He's going to be in studio with us 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Very much looking forward to that. Jackets get a little mini camp back underway today through Friday. Got a Saturday game coming up against the Blackhawks. So Dino in studio tomorrow, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Did see that they're working over at the Horseshoe as well, Bob, getting everything ready for the Stadium Series next weekend. Getting the ice ready to go.
That is. It's going to be fun. It'll be fun. Just in time for it to be 50 degrees.
I know. Yeah.
You know,
it's the weather output like for next Saturday. Good. 44 degrees cloudy. That's pretty ideal.
As long as it's not sunny, that's good. You'd probably like to have it for the ice people under 40 degrees. 44 is a little warm, but as long as the sun's not out, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, 44 cloudy sounds good. Sounds all right.
Sounds like tank top weather to me, Beam.
Shark, I need you to stop socializing in there and put your headphones on.
Exactly. This is why you can't have friends.
I'm training.
I'm sure you are.
I'm training.
What are you telling Cole? Because Cole's in there with you this morning. He's training. He knows how to run every show on here. What life advice are you giving him right now?
In 20 and a half weeks, I won't be here.
Yeah.
And
How good do you feel that after this week it'll be in 19?
I need to train people how to deal with you two.
That's probably true.
So, what
Just
are you
assuming I'm going to be here after you?
What,
Me too.
What are you interrupting me for now?
I was just now that you're giving Cole life advice on how to handle this. What are you saying? What
work?
If you had
advice.
all right, Shark. Let me ask you this: Cole's sitting over there with you. He's young. He's just getting underway in this business. If you had to give him one piece of advice going through everything you've gone in your career, what would it be?
Oh, yeah.
I would say don't produce morning juice. Not because of you guys, but because you got to come in at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That has nothing to do with us. That's you cutting
right.
cutting up other random
things. I know.
Things.
That's what I said. It has nothing to do with you two. It's the hours.
Don't work morning radio is what you're saying?
Shark, you get all day off.
Yeah, but Bob, I have to sleep all day because I'm up all night. Anyway, what were you asking me?
I was asking you what your plan of the future is going to be in your retirement for the Cleveland Browns at the quarterback position.
Well, you know where I want to go with that, Beam, and I would like to get Justin Fields. I want more than a Band-Aid, and I don't think Cam or Shador are worth taking at number 2.
You telling me that?
I would rather take Will Howard in the 3rd round than take one of those.
Who's saying that he's going to be there in the 3rd round?
Well, whatever.
Second? Would you take him in the second?
Man, that's
top 40 pick.
34.
Yeah. It's a top 40 pick. That's pretty.
Bob, I'll tell you after the combine. I want to see how.
Watch him run 22 miles an hour.
I want to see how his star rises at Indy.
Oh, he might not even be there then.
I don't want Kirk Cousins. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. I don't want
Matty Stafford.
I don't want Matt Stafford. I would take a certain Minnesota Vikings quarterback because I feel like that's more than a Band-Aid.
Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones. Does Daniel Jones come with that $40 million contract?
I don't think so. I think the Giants have that.
Okay.
I think the Giants are eating most of that.
I would say he's an upgrade over DTR.
Oh, yeah. He's an upgrade over Deshaun. He would be the best thing that they have. Deshaun, their Browns quarterback play last year was atrocious. Like, let's not sugarcoat that. I mean,
Beam gave the numbers. It was the worst in 20 years or something.
Because we play the quarterback game with the Browns. You know, the list of quarterbacks, and Joe Thomas can name every Browns quarterback that he played for, which is actually pretty remarkable.
Because it's an extensive list.
But of the guys who we had named and you have lived through as a Browns fan, Deshaun had the worst performance of all the quarterbacks in the last, basically since the Browns were reincepted. The worst season. He was having the worst season ever for a Browns quarterback.
I thought league-wide it was the worst QBR.
It was. It was also the worst in
Browns history. Browns expansion history.
Yes.
But
I'm going to tell you this. If it was the worst in Browns history of the last 20 years, there's zero chance it wasn't the worst in the NFL.
Exactly.
I've seen some of the quarterback play over the last 20 years in Cleveland. I mean, that's been epically bad. Epically bad.
I was reading this just on the Justin front, because Justin is going to be a free agent. Don't know if he's going to re-sign in Pittsburgh, what they're doing. There was a rumor a couple of weeks ago that they called Trevor Lawrence. They called the Jags about trying to get Trevor Lawrence. And the Jags came out and said that wasn't true. They don't even have a GM right now. Like, Trent Baalke's gone. I don't even know how you would go about that business.
I think they just hired somebody.
Did they? I know they're down to their finalists.
Okay. Maybe I saw they brought someone in.
Yeah, I think they're down to their finalists. I don't know if they've announced anybody. But I did see this about Justin's potential landing spots. And here's a couple of destinations for you on the Fields front. The Jets were tied. New York Jets were tied to Fields by ESPN NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler in one of this week's editions of SportsCenter when he called New York a sleeper option to land with the free agent. I don't know anyone who should play for the Jets. I'm just being honest. I know you got Garrett over there, and why am I blanking on the tight end? You got Jeremy Ruckert over there still, right? So he's got a couple of Buckeye options who he was familiar with.
Ruck might be a free agent now.
Yeah, I feel like he's been in the league long enough to become a free agent.
This is after his 4th year, so he might be on his way out of there. But I like Aaron Glenn as a coach. I just don't like.
That's a long haul, man.
don't like the organization. And they just don't have a structure in place. There's nothing that you would look at and say, hey, this is built for a young quarterback to have success.
No.
Their offensive line isn't very good.
Now, he's not a rookie. He's been through some bad situations. And Pittsburgh was better than what it was in Chicago, but that's also an abysmal situation. And I would think, at least if I were Justin Fields, that I want to go to a team that has better organizational quality than what I've been on with the Bears and how I was treated in the first year with that.
And maybe in a year it will be different. But right now, they have more holes than you need when you're talking about putting in a young quarterback who, honestly, any guy right now you would need, but if you're a younger guy that hasn't had a lot of success in the league, you need to have some confidence and positive experiences right now to continue to grow as a player.
Steelers are another option for Justin just to go back to Pittsburgh, and I think that would be
Steely Dan.
I think that'd be an all right option. I did see that the Steelers were interested in Dan Jones, though, so who knows what's going to happen with Pittsburgh and all this coming out in the offseason of, we're going to re-sign Russell or we'd prefer to re-sign Justin, but now we're making calls about Lawrence.
Only one of them is going to be back, right?
Yeah, it's an either-or situation, but it doesn't have to be one of them. I mean, it could be anyone, not in this free agent class that's coming in as well. Giants are another reported option for Justin Fields out there. Working with Brian Dable, I don't think that would be the worst thing. He's obviously...
they need to make sure they continue to grow their offensive line. They have some of the same issues, though, the Jets have.
Yeah, correct. So
I'm waiting, Beam.
The Las Vegas Raiders are on the list, Shark. And I think that's a pretty good I think that would be okay for Justin. I think that would be a fine landing spot for Justin Fields to go out there with the Raiders. The Saints are another option. Go in there with Kellen Moore, new head coach, offensive mind. I doubt that. I mean, I know that he was gushing about Derek Carr.
Derek Carr and the Browns.
I would take Derek over Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But what I'm waiting for is in this little story, if you're going to tell me that the Browns are one of those options.
Honorable mentions, Titans and Browns.
Okay.
Or you're an honorable mention.
There you go. It's an honor to do business with you, Shark.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I'm nuts, Bob?
For what?
Want Justin Fields?
No, because I don't think the Browns are going to be set up to win next year. And I don't particularly love Cam. I don't love Cam Ward as an NFL quarterback. I do like Shedeur, but depending on what other players are up there at the top, and especially if you don't have Myles Garrett, I think you'd have a nice draft haul, and you could really help bolster the rest of that roster. And if you're bringing in a guy who's a young free agent who's going to be cheap, you can see what he can do. It's really a limited risk situation. That's why I like it. And I think Justin, in the right system, has the ability to be a good NFL quarterback.
And I also don't think that Justin is a bridge guy. You're talking about a Derek Carr or a Kirk Cousins of any, it's a bridge. You're not going to get 5 years. The best of their play is already behind them.
Well, those guys are in their mid-30s.
You're not winning anything with those guys, and then you're going to be back to the drawing board and hoping that a free agent quarterback chooses you again via hopefully non-fully guaranteed contract.
Maybe they'll bring in Justin Tucker, Shark.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I don't know what
to team with Deshaun.
I don't know.
Pair them up. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe that's just the problem. Deshaun needed a buddy.
Honestly, best case scenario for Justin, I don't really know what it is, but I think the Steelers are a safe bet for him if Pittsburgh wants him back, and then I think the Raiders would be pretty good for him.
Yeah. I think the Raiders could be pretty good. Who's the Raiders? Oh, Pete Carroll? Yeah,
Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly.
They would run the ball. I think they'd utilize his legs in the run game some.
Yeah, Brock Bowers out there as tight end.
Yeah, they wouldn't ask him to go out and throw it 30 times. I do think that would be a very good spot for him, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And you saw what Chip was able to do with Will this year and him and Ryan. I think that would be a very good spot.
Speaking of the Browns, I don't think Kevin Stefanski's going to coach a year for the third time, at least not this season. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and happy Wednesday. Still watching delays on State Route 16 westbound. There's a crash just east of Newark that has traffic slow moving. Also slow moving traffic on the west side on I-70 eastbound. Just past State Route 142 as crews clear up a crash from earlier this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stutterwald with your Fan traffic.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
You can always go back and listen to the podcast after the show's done or watch the YouTube show. Lindsay Patterson from WKRQ down in Cincinnati. She joined us in the 6 o'clock hour talking all Bengals. Lindsay's very optimistic, thinks that all three of the T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson deals are going to get done here this offseason. So that was a great chat that we had with her in the 6 o'clock hour. Andy says in the YouTube chat, Justin Fields also a bridge quarterback. He's not good enough to be a franchise quarterback. Justin Fields has better odds of being a franchise quarterback than Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins does. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, those guys have been there. They are past that. So, yeah, that's not this stage in their career. I can't definitively tell you that Justin isn't a franchise quarterback. He's been in some bad situations. And I'm going to kind of eliminate all of his time in Chicago. And his time in Pittsburgh was weird and tenuous. And, like, their offense isn't great either.
Their offense has been bad, like really struggling the last
I love that people come out
and
make these definitive statements. Like, I've seen guys that have struggled and had a lot of success. I've seen guys who have had a lot of success and then struggled based upon the system that they're in and the talent that is around them and the coach that they're dealing with.
Isn't it all about landing spot? Like
it is. It's so much of there are guys who I know in the that are Hall of Famers, like that are system players. And they're in the right situation, in the right system with the right coach, and things worked out really well for them. And they got them to Pro Bowls, and they were really good. And so, like, that's when people come out and make these definitive statements about what somebody is. They don't know. I'm telling you right now, they don't know. They haven't watched enough of it. Like, you go back and you go watch all 256 games in the NFL, or now it's more than that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's another 17 or 16
16 of them.
Yeah, another 16.
272.
Yeah. I'm like, go watch all of those, and then we'll break down and talk about why these plays are working and why they're not.
I feel like Mike McCarthy won that one off season.
Mike McCarthy did not watch all those games.
Are you telling me that Mike McCarthy's lying?
Yeah, because he also said he was working out every day. Okay. You know, two things that don't lie to you?
Iron and Jesus.
That's Schlegs will tell you that, okay?
Yeah.
And listen, he's getting lied to, all right? And it wasn't the iron that was lying to him, all right? He was lying about something else.
Oh, man.
Allegedly on that elliptical every morning.
I did see the Coach of the Year odds.
A donut on the elliptical.
What's wrong with that? I mean, you know, sometimes you got to work out to be able to ingest the calories that you want.
That's fine. I mean, if that's the spiral you want to get on, I would not define that as a productive.
You don't do that every morning?
Eat a donut?
Yeah, on the elliptical.
I have not. Yeah, I don't get on the elliptical much, and I definitely don't eat donuts a whole lot.
Are you still doing the treadmill?
Yeah, I do the treadmill.
Okay.
I'll run.
Yeah, I didn't know how the impact was, how your knees are feeling.
Oh, my knees are great.
Good.
It's my back is the problem. My legs are going numb yesterday. That's not a good deal. It's the first time that's been the case. Real soft bed down in Guantanamo Bay. I was talking to Vernon Carey about it.
Are you Tiger Woods sleeping on the ground down there?
I honestly thought about it. Like it was getting to that point where it was so soft I'd wake up in the morning and it was bad, man. Like I'd get out, take a couple steps, have some shooting pains down my back. I just need a more firm bed. Like that's just what it is. It's where I'm at in my life, Beam. So Yeah. I ran 14 110s yesterday. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, good speed. My hamstrings were sore the evening, so I know I did something. So, yeah. I mean, I can still go do it. It's just a function of what happens after. The knees are fine.
Are we doing the conditioning test again for your birthday this year?
We'll do that as long as I'm still breathing. As long as there's air in my lungs. My goal, I'm going to try to do it till 45 is the goal. We'll see how hard it is at 45, and then we'll make a decision at that point. And if it's simply cardiovascular, that's fine. If there's any type of joint issue, then that's where we'll reevaluate. But I really enjoy doing that. I said, like, there's something fully liberating, and this is, I was talking to my man, Ray, who was in the Navy down in Gitmo. And I was like, dude, there's something like fully liberating about, like he was talking about doing these underwater swims. And to pass the SEAL, pass BUDS, you've got to do a 50-meter underwater swim. No breath. Can't dive it off the side. And you have to do a flip turn before you get started so you don't even get any more air.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. So it's hard, and it's no fins. Like, it's legit. I mean, I could probably right now get maybe 30, 35. I go, RJ, I told my son, you can do that? He goes, So you could probably do 40, 45. I go, if you trained it, swimmers can get that done. But I go, there's something liberating about, like, when all you're focusing on doing is just living. It really is a great way of clearing your mind. When it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, dude. We're like boiling that down.
Shout out to Maslow. Love Maslow.
Of course. Like, normally they say, like, shelter is first, and then, like, you get the food, and then needs, like, but your most intrinsic need is oxygen.
Breathing.
And so it's essential to life existence. And so if all you're thinking about is how I'm getting that next breath of air in my lungs, it's like all the other problems seem really inconsequential.
Like Joffrey at the Purple Wedding.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, you could have this problem going on in life. You have this family issue, this work issue. But if all you're thinking about is how do I get some air into my lungs or else I'm going to die, it really kind of...
Alone in my house, choking on food.
It does. Like, it really gives you a moment of clarity of, like, all those things really don't matter. If I don't want to be here, then this is fine. But if I'm still trying to get air into my lungs, so when you run really hard and, like, my heart rate... I could try to get it up above 180. That's really tough now for me. But, like, you're breathing hard, or, like, doing those underwater swims and doing stuff like that. Like, it's exhilarating. And I sit there at the end. I'm exhausted. I'm like, nothing else really matters. So that's why I do that stuff, Beam. It's very enjoyable. So as long as I'm not just grinding away on, like, a bad peg or my back hurts so bad, like, we'll be good. And we'll have one more of those. Hopefully Schleiss will show up this year and not bail.
Well, he came late.
Christian bailed. Oh, came late. He came when it was done.
Yeah. He came when practice was done, actually. Not even at the beginning of the portion of practice where you were doing that.
He always has scheduling conflicts.
Some people want to be an adrenaline junkie. You're an oxygen junkie.
That's the best form of oxygen. Because you know why when there's adrenaline junkies? Because you know what it is? You're just thinking about living. That's all it is.
Get busy living?
That's all it is. Like those dudes that do the windsuiting and the base jumping.
By the way, one of the craziest things in the whole world.
You want to feel alive? Take yourself close to the edge.
Yeah, go split rocks while you're going 200 miles an hour, however fast.
Because if you don't split the rock, Beam.
Yeah, smush.
You become the rock.
Yeah, you're one with the rock for eternity.
I'm telling you, man. That's why it's exhilarating. All your problems seem to melt away.
I was looking at Coach of the Year odds, which just came out for 2025. Any idea who would have the lowest odds to win NFL Coach of the Year? And by lowest, I mean longest shot.
Brian Daboll.
That would not be Brian Daboll, Shark. Brian Daboll actually middle of the pack at 25-1.
Well, I guess it's got to be somebody who's on a bad team that is going to elevate that team, like the Commies this year.
I'm saying the opposite way. Least likely to win it.
No, I know. I'm saying a guy that wins the award usually comes from a team that was
Nick Sirianni.
Nick Sirianni and Andy Reid, yes, are the lowest at 80-1 to win Coach of the Year.
People don't think Nick Sirianni is a very good coach, and he's the defending Super Bowl champion. So odds of him winning it next year are pretty low.
Pretty low for those guys. Like John Harbaugh is at 60-1. Sean McDermott is at 40-1. Kevin Stefanski's at 40-1. Now, I don't know if that's because he's already won it twice or the fact that they realize that the Browns may not be very good this year. I'm not sure, but I thought that was interesting that he's at 40-1. My indication was that he's already won it twice. We're not going to give it to him a third time.
I think it's the other way.
They think that he's not going to be good?
Yeah. If they go from 3-14 to 11-5, he's probably going to win it. But I don't think he's going to go 11-5.
12-4. 12-5, 17 games.
If
now. Justin's
my quarterback.
Playoffs? AFC Championship?
No.
Illusions of grandeur?
No.
Your odds-on favorite to win the Coach of the Year is actually Ben Johnson of the Bears at 7-1, followed by Mike Vrabel with the Pats at plus 850. Jim Harbaugh at 12-1, alongside a Pete Carroll at 12-1. Liam Cohen, the new coach of the Jags, at 14-1. Dave Canales, who we just talked about with the Panthers, at 16-1. And Sean Payton at 16-1. That might be the one that I'm looking at, because the Broncos had a really good year this year. Got into the playoffs, got smoked by the Bills. But you look at what Sean Payton has done, Bob, since his time from leaving the Saints and going to Denver. Like, they looked really bad 2 years ago in the beginning portion of the year with Russell as their quarterback. End of the first season under Sean Payton, they got much better. Last year made the playoffs. I mean, we could be looking for a big jump in the Broncos this year. Like, I like Sean Payton.
Yeah, Sean Payton's a really good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really smart, and he took a guy that I didn't think would be able to do that. And I don't know if many people thought when he was getting bounced from Auburn, all of a sudden goes to Oklahoma, or Oregon, things start turning around. He gets drafted to Denver, and you're like, poof, David Copperfield, a couple years in, like, you're looking pretty good now. And so Sean Payton is very smart, does a great job. He needed a reset. Like New Orleans, they just couldn't get a quarterback. If you can't get a quarterback, you can't have success.
No.
And so they'll build that team well up in Denver. And it's tough because they're competing with Kansas City, obviously, and they've got the Chargers in there now.
Yeah, and the Raiders.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who's on the big, they're on the big rebuild. They've been on the big rebuild for a while now.
They're on the come up. They're on the come up beam.
That's what the kids are saying.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor, by the way, at 25-1.
Okay. I don't hate that.
I don't either. I mean, you make the playoffs, and if this Bengals offseason goes according to plan and what we think they're going to do, at least what's being reported right now, you don't stumble out of the blocks for the fourth year in a row and you get to the playoffs, they can absolutely make some noise. So I don't hate a Zach Taylor in there at 25-1 either. We're going to get Juice coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching a crash on State Route 16 westbound. If you're heading out near Newark, we've got slowdowns building into Granville because of that crash. Everything else looking okay here in the metro. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Are you feeling tired, slower, or achier than you used to? You might think it's just age, but it could be low testosterone. At Columbus Men's Clinic, they've helped thousands of men who didn't realize their symptoms were caused by declining testosterone levels, a problem that's becoming a new norm in American men. Columbus Men's Clinic refuses to accept this new normal. They're committed to restoring testosterone to healthy levels so you can feel like yourself again, whether at home, in the gym, at work, or in the bedroom. For years, their medical provider has delivered testosterone therapy tailored to each man's needs. No one-size-fits-all solutions, just real science-backed results delivered by discreet local experts. Imagine more energy, sharper focus, and newfound confidence. A same-day testosterone check and consultation is just $99. Call 614-300-7400 or visit ColumbusMen'sClinic.com today. Your prime years aren't over. They're just waiting to be unleashed. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
How'd you like to wipe out all that credit card debt to start the new year off right? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Stop getting fleeced by the credit card companies. If you own your home, go to AFLcash.com now. Advantage First Lending can help you unlock that equity and get you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's AFLcash.com. You can pay off all your credit cards and other high-interest debt super fast. Consolidate all your bills into one low monthly payment. AFLcash.com can help you tap into your home's equity to give you some serious cash so you can go into 2025 with less stress and more confidence. Get the cash you need from Advantage First Lending now. Most homeowners don't even need an appraisal. How great is that? Get on solid financial footing. Go to AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. 844-394-CASH.
Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
One of the things I had decided when I started the company was we were going to build the best window possible. We were going to give the best service possible. And I think we've accomplished that. Our reputation is built on taking care of people and building a great window and then taking care of it afterwards. It's just a darn good window.
Visit Rosati Windows by the end of this month and get 35% off all windows and doors.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes are back at the shot for a Big Ten battle with Northwestern.
Live fan coverage starts Thursday at 5:30, right after Common Man and T-Bone.
Yeah, what the girl just said. Your flagship home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
A reminder, coming up tomorrow at this time, we'll be hanging out with Columbus Blue Jackets head coach Dean Evison. He's going to join us in studio tomorrow, coming up from 7:30 to 8:30. So very much looking forward to that.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Bob, a nice little quiet Wednesday for us. It's got you fired up, big dog.
Oh, man, what has me juiced? Well, my son wanted to watch this. We started on Monday night because he had President's Day. I finished it last night because our cable, for some reason, it went out. Netflix wouldn't, or our Disney wouldn't reboot. But watched Red Tails. I'd never seen that before. And really enjoyed that. So got to watch the last 20 minutes of it. Finished that up yesterday. That was tremendous. That's got me juiced. Big way. Got to go see my guy Matt Patricia yesterday.
Okay.
Over in the facility over at Ohio State. So juiced that he's in there. He's meeting with OG Tim Walton. It was great to see those guys in there talking. And Matt played for Tim in Detroit, played for Matt in New England. And I'm excited for what he's going to be able to do here. And so Nate Ebner was sitting outside waiting to talk to him. And I was just talking to Nate about why he didn't have success potentially in Detroit.
No honeymoon for Nate?
Well, it's a weird deal. They took their honeymoon prior to all this. It's bizarre timing. Don't ask me about Nate's scheduling. Interesting fella. But Nate played up there for 9 years. He was with Matty P for 12 to 17, his entire tenure there with New England. So he knew him well, and just how good, what we thought he was going to be, and just how excited we were that he was ultimately here and what he should be able to do at Ohio State. So that was fun. That got me juiced as well. Big day today, more stuff to get done. I got a bunch of crap to continue to check off the list, but I've been whacking it down. It's like whack-a-mole as I've been going through this. And I got a couple more things I can cross off the list today, so I'm going to get that stuff taken care of. So that'll be exciting. And then also I ran across this little gem. I think this was about parenting from Dana White, if I'm not mistaken.
I want my kids to think I was a good dad. That's my legacy. It's like people who don't have kids, they don't get it. But you will. When you have a kid, you'll understand it. If you don't, then you'll never understand it. You have a completely different life. It's about where we going, what trip, this, that. Right. But once you have kids and you start to raise your kids, really that's what it's all about. Your real legacy is, I think about money, right? All these things that you do with family and friends and stuff with your money, creates memories. Then you die. And only a handful of people will remember you, right? And most of them are your kids and close family. And they'll be like, remember that time that we went here? Remember the time we did this? Remember the time we did that? That is your legacy.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Yeah. Your life is about creating memories with the people that you care about. And then when you're dead, that's what they remember. And then when they have kids, you will have influenced them in ways, hopefully, to do the same type of things with their family.
Because when you die, Shark, no one else cares.
I think you should heed that advice, Bob. You are leaving your children nothing. That's what you brag about.
Yeah, you're leaving them a lifetime of knowledge, experiences, and the ability to draw upon those moving forward. What are tangible, and he didn't talk anything about tangible.
He talked
things.
about vacations.
Yeah, those are experiences.
Yeah.
Those are services, not giving
You're taking your son to WrestleMania.
Yeah, we're going to WrestleMania. Dude, we're going to the Bahamas for spring break. Like we do lots of stuff, Shark.
I'm going on vacation without Willie.
We're trying. That would be great.
Forward to that.
I would love to be able to do. I'm going on vacation by myself.
Yes,
next
you
week.
are.
No, you're not.
a
Shark's
vacation.
going with you.
Not a vacation. I mean, I'll be running around working. I would like to enjoy it with my wife, but she chose. She's a conscientious objector, so that's fine. And
has she ever missed?
No, the last 2 years she's gone half of it, but because she had to get back, for the kids, making up stuff about that. But it's fine. I just really don't think she likes to spend time with me anymore. So that's the bigger problem. Shark, what Shelley's got to say?
The smartest people in all the rooms doesn't mean anything to me. I can give two craps about how much paper you got, and I got 2 of them. I give 2 craps, right? It's about action.
2 craps.
Right. He's got 2 pieces of paper, Bob. How many do you have? 3?
I've got 2.
I thought maybe you were a double major with a master's.
No, you want me to get another degree, Shark?
No.
I can. I mean,
Mira's got 3.
I have no desire
She's
to
a 3-banger.
go back to school ever again. To ever
Is she
sit
double
in a
major?
classroom.
Yeah.
Nice.
I watched the Illinois-Wisconsin game last night.
Nice.
Now, you think about Wisconsin for the last, 30 years. They've had Dick Bennett and Bo Ryan and Greg Gard. They always won with defense, slow down offense, and a great defense. Not anymore. The Badgers scored 94 in their last game against Purdue. They scored 95 last night against Illinois. It's the first time they've had back-to-back 90-point games in Big Ten games since 1996. 3 times in the last 13 games they've scored 90 points. Before that, in the previous 400 games, they scored 90 points 3 times. And they are averaging 11 made three-pointers per game this season, which leads the Big Ten. The Wisconsin Badgers, your dark horse come March. Just putting it out there. Do you know who has called the most World Series on television in history?
Joe Buck.
24 of them. And then he signed that 5-year, $75 million contract with ESPN to do Monday Night Football, and he no longer did baseball games on Fox, but he's coming back for one game, opening day, the Yankees and the Milwaukee Brewers. So looking forward to that, because a lot of people don't like Joe Buck. I think he's the voice of baseball.
A lot of people didn't like Joe Buck because he was cheering for the Cubs against the Indians.
Yeah, well, so it seemed. Everybody made a big deal about it.
Well, it was seeming. I mean, it was pretty overt
And
to me.
it was what's his name, who missed the whole season and then came back and killed Schwarber.
Yeah.
Schwarber. And he made a big deal about that, and he should have.
The worst part is the Indians got killed by someone from Ohio. Like, that was the irony of all of it.
Middletown, Ohio.
It was so awful.
Right, Bob.
I'm like, someone from the Buckeye State had to finish him off.
And then also, and I don't necessarily say this has me juiced, but we have a name change for the arena that the Cavaliers play in.
Rocket Arena.
It started as Gund Arena in 1994 for 11 years. Then Gilbert bought the team, and it became Quicken Loans Arena. And then it became Rocket Mortgage Arena. Now it's just Rocket.
The Q
Arena.
was great.
They keep rebranding. Yeah, Q is all right. I thought Gund Arena was all right.
When do you think the Rockets will play in Rocket Arena?
The Rockers. The Cleveland Rockers of the WNBA are going to play at the Rockers at the Rocket.
Houston Rockets.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Rocket night at the Rocket.
Hey, Beam.
Yeah.
What has you juiced besides Bob Taylor?
What's got me fired up? Yeah, we're well past Coaster Bob time. That's got me fired up. Juice that we've got some movement at the shoe for the Stadium Series. Was watching all kinds of scenes. I think Svoboda was tweeting about it yesterday. So looking forward to that coming up here next weekend.
Are you going?
I'm not going to go.
I'm going.
Are you? Good. Yeah. We have, we're doing Willie's birthday party down in Dayton that Saturday. So doing a family birthday party back down in Dayton. Yeah, we're doing that. Doing a birthday
party. When's his birthday?
His birthday's that next week. It's
March 5th.
Yeah, it's Wednesday that next week.
You're going to skip the Stadium Series? If I was going to be here, I'd go.
I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Dayton.
But that was a choice.
That's true.
You could have your kid. Your kid has no idea when his birthday is.
He thinks it's now.
You can have it any day.
His birthday is every day, basically, in our house.
I'm going, Bob, and I'm taking Courtney.
Oh, she might actually enjoy that. She likes going to hockey games.
Yeah,
much more than basketball and way more than baseball.
I'm excited for you, Shark, that you're going to go. I'm going to need all the details about that. Yes, we're planning a nice little birthday party. Everything's got to have a theme too nowadays.
He doesn't know any of this.
I know he doesn't, but it's the cool thing to do. I guess
it's for your wife. She's doing this for herself.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It's under the guise. Don't say it's under the guise of your child. Just say I'm doing this for me.
He really likes the Grinch right now, which isn't that time of the year for the Grinch, but we listen to the Grinch every day. It's good. We don't watch the Grinch that much, but Grinch music's playing in our house constantly. I can sing you that song back to front, front to back. We listen to it at least 20 times a day.
That's great.
And there's actually just the audio of the old school Grinch movie that's on Amazon Music that we listen to it, which is awesome.
It's like 18 minutes.
So we're doing, as he's turning 2, it's going to be Welcome to Twoville is going to be the theme of the party, and it's going to be Grinch. And both of his cousins are terrified of the Grinch, so I think that should be very fun, what we have in store. Hey, we got a pretty slow sports day today. I'll tell you that much. I mean, we had nothing going on. Nothing going on yesterday. So it was nice. I was able to, I told you I've been segmenting movies as well. Been watching Gangs of New York this week is what I've been doing. So locking in on Gangs of New York. Tell you what, Bill the Butcher, bad guy. Daniel Lewis, bad guy in that movie. You got to stay out of his way.
True story, too.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just a made.
Scorsese. He wrote it about 30 years before the movie was made. He wrote about that.
Meredith's doing some homework last night, and she looks at me. She's like, "What is this?" I said, "Gangs of New York." She goes, "That Cameron Diaz?" I said, "Yeah." She plays a great role in that. What are we most looking forward to coming up here this week? Because we got a power-packed action tomorrow. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and happy Wednesday. Still watching slowdowns on State Route 16 out in Newark. We've got a crash near Church Street. Those slowdowns building into the Granville area. Everything else here in the metro moving along up to speed. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU.
Apply today at bmifcu.org/visa.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hey, we've all been there. It starts as a nuisance, something you just put up with. It's that joint pain. It starts to hurt, impacting everything in your life, whether it's your knee, your back, your hip, your shoulder, walking, climbing stairs, even getting out of the car, moving around. It all hurts. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And I'm talking about that always there, that nagging pain, the stuff that I had when I got done playing professional football. It was in my knees. So what did I do? I went to see my friends at QC Kinetics. Their groundbreaking new treatments for arthritis pain provide long-term relief. The regenerative treatments are sweeping the nation. They're right here right in Columbus, Ohio, under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grand Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. So here's what you want to do. Go to QCkinetics/Columbus, because I'm going to tell you this, it's not going to get better with time. You can't wish it away. They've got an office in Dublin, one in Gahanna, or give them a call at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Right now, select varieties are buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's Senior Day at the Schottenstein Center on Sunday, February 23rd at 12 p.m. Join Ohio State women's basketball at the Schottenstein Center to honor the seniors as they take on Purdue. Don't miss out on themed games, unforgettable fan experiences, and the ultimate Buckeye traditions. Buy your tickets and gear up for game day at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
At NJM Insurance, we're like a symphony. It all starts by doing the right thing. Add in dedicated reps and put policyholders first. But no jingles or mascots because it's just not us. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, thinking I did something spectacular dropping 50 pounds, but then Steve pops in and dropped a whopping 150 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss.
I got started because I was sick and tired of just being sick and tired all the time. Wanted more from life, and I knew that at my size, I wasn't being who I could be, who I want to be for not only myself, but for my wife. And I was like, something has got to change, and it's got to start soon. I mean, the program is so easy. Everything is really written down for you on your first day. Having someone there to help you and also keep you accountable, just having that someone to talk to, and even the fact that Awaken 180 offers free maintenance for life is amazing, because our lives change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And sometimes you need help figuring it out, because keeping the weight off is a lifetime commitment.
A lifetime commitment is what you'll receive with Awaken 180. More than 50 pounds to lose like I did, or over 100 pounds like Steve, Awaken 180 can get you there and keep you there. Free support for life online at awaken180weightloss.com.
For a limited time at Speedway, get 2 big pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce for only $5 with Speedy Rewards. Choose from classic 3-cheese, pepperoni, or extreme meat pizza. Save big with a $5 meal deal with Speedy Rewards. Only at Speedway. Valid through 3/4/25. See app for full terms.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Something amazing is happening here. AI is increasing workloads on CPUs and GPUs. But this company's laptops are more than keeping pace. That's because CDW worked with them to future-proof their laptop fleet by configuring them with devices enabled with AMD Ryzen AI. Improve performance and free up resources with AMD Ryzen and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/AMD client.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. Heading into the month of December, the Kansas Jayhawks were 7-0 and ranked number 1 in the country. Since then, they've gone 10-9, and next week won't even appear in the top 25. Kansas is ranked 23rd at the moment, but the Jayhawks were clobbered at BYU last night, 91-57. The 34-point loss is the worst margin of defeat in the Bill Self coaching era and the third worst loss in program history. Also in the top 25, second-ranked Florida is 23-3 following an 85-63 win over Oklahoma. Fifth-ranked Houston is 22-4 after beating Arizona State 80-65. Number 7 Texas A&M suffered a 70-54 loss at 21st-ranked Mississippi State. Number 11 Wisconsin dumped Illinois 95-74, and 14th-ranked Michigan State topped number 13 Purdue 75-66. The Sports Center is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
Hour 3 for us here on a Wednesday. Coming up this hour, Berm, he's going to join us at 8:30. Talk some coaching changes over at the Woody with him. What's going on with his Buckeye football offseason. At 8:47 this morning, Columbus Blue Jacket Cole Sillinger, he's going to join us. Jackets back in action on Saturday. They'll entertain the Blackhawks. Got a little mini camp coming up today, tomorrow, Friday to get re-engaged back with the season. So busy 8 o'clock hour coming up for us.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
It's quite a night for us last night. Tonight's the same way. Tomorrow, crazy busy. Buckeye men's basketball in action against Northwestern tomorrow at home. Buckeye women's basketball at Indiana. Jackets, like I said, get back in action Saturday. Crew in action starting the season on Saturday. And then tomorrow we've got the USA versus Canada Four Nations Championship game tilt going on.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. It'll be a nice little Thursday night watch.
Of course.
We got the Bucks you said too as well?
Yeah, both men's and women's.
What are the times on those?
I believe the men's start time, Bob.
I didn't ask for your beliefs. I asked what time it started.
What times do the games start coming up here? I know that it's earlier than an 8 o'clock start. I know that because I've got a little watching schedule for tomorrow evening. It's a 6:30 start time for the men's team.
I love that.
So that's a perfect start time. And then the women's team in action tomorrow on the road at Assembly Hall taking on Indiana. That is a 7 o'clock start. So 6:37 and 8 staggered.
Okay, so you should be done with the men's largely by the start of the game.
Yeah, 8:30.
8:30.
Hopefully, and hope isn't a strategy.
Feel like you've got that thing in the bag.
Hopefully you've got it okay. I will say this for Northwestern though.
I've watched some of the women. They're a feisty bunch.
Yeah, I've watched a bit of Northwestern for whatever reason this year. Like they play close games. Like their wins haven't gone their way. They've struggled, but they will play a close game. Like they're really well coached with Chris Collins.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah.
And you've heard Jake Diebler very.
He was not looking past Northwestern by the time they got off that Michigan game on Sunday. He's like, we cannot look past this Northwestern team. They're very good.
5 games left?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need
5 to go.
Probably win 4 of them.
Yeah.
Get that done, which they can. I mean, if they play like they did against Michigan, you just got to close out. Michigan's a very good team, and they had a shot to win at the end. Literally had a shot to tie, I guess, at the end that you would define as a really good look. So we'll see if they can get that done. But that should be a fun little viewing for tomorrow night's pleasure. If you will.
Quiet last night, quiet tonight.
Yeah.
For us here, and then it picks back up towards the weekend as we go on.
Well, it wasn't quiet. Did you see this? And someone threw this in the chat, and I had kind of forgot about it. I heard Common Man and T-Bone talking about it as I did my full
man, you were out of your silo,
full
weren't you?
buffet of the 97-1 rundown yesterday. They started talking about the Jonathan Martin, Richie Incognito situation. And I don't know if you guys, do you remember that from 10 years ago?
Of course. I saw Albert Breer in his mailbag. I don't know if it was earlier this week, Bob, or if it was on Sunday. But because Albert's on a ski trip that we learned, we want to get a chance to talk to him tomorrow because I believe he's at Stowe up in Vermont. I thought Albert had a really good kind of recap of not an entire recap of what happened, but everything that was going on and how it can be a great lesson for everybody involved.
Yeah. And well, my thing is, let's listen to what people's opinions. Someone asked about it. I played against Richie and I played with Richie. But what's interesting is Jonathan Martin, for him to come back out and say all those things, I was surprised. Like, the reason this is in the headlines is because he made this admission that he never felt like he was, quote, bullied.
Yeah.
And then he also said, I never went to anybody about it. He must have told his parents, and his parents were the ones that drove it with Schefter and the league. And obviously, this big bullying emphasis to try to eliminate that. And it's a good thing, especially from youth schools and youth sports and everything else. But we're talking about grown men in a situation right here that are playing in the NFL in a combative sport. And, and Jonathan Martin, they did have a voicemail from Richie, which was colorful to say the least, filled with profanity and racial epithets. And, I heard it say, what did Mike call it yesterday? I forget. He had a term, some sort of, racism that was allowed, like not compensatory or something like that. But the way guys talk in locker rooms is very unique and different. And I've always tried to kind of express this to people because there is no HR in the NFL. Like it's always a joke, like the coach, but go report it to HR. Like, where's that? That doesn't exist. Because the things that are said are rude, they're crass, from coaches to players, from players to coaches, from players to players. And
coaches to coaches.
Coaches to coaches, even sometimes. And there is a line, obviously, but that line is far different than anywhere else in the rest of society. And my problem is, like, people are passing this off. Like, it's no big deal for Richie Incognito. This almost ruined his career. And, like, he did play after that, but he had to sit out the rest of the 8 games that season. And I'm trying to think if he was out the next year, too. I think Buffalo re-signed him or the Raiders, one of the two after that. Maybe Buffalo, and then he went to the Raiders after that. But Richie Incognito was like a borderline Pro Bowl player. I think he maybe even made a Pro Bowl or two during his career. And, like, that's why he's fired up about this, because he came out with a tweet like, media was pushing a narrative. The guy that couldn't cut it.
Oh, he's come out with multiple tweets.
Oh, yeah. And what he's saying is not factually inaccurate. Like, Jonathan Martin was not psychologically tough enough to play in the NFL. He may have had the physical ability, but it's more than anything else, it's a psychological grind, and you've got to be able to handle that. And the group in Miami was a colorful group, but it wasn't a racist group. The other guys that were involved were Pouncey and John Jerry, who were both black guys. Like it was crazy that's and they were like complicit and in on some of the texts and all this stuff together. And so, like, if they thought Richie Incognito was a racist, I think they would have probably stepped up and Pouncey would have tried to kick his butt. Like
maybe more.
I mean, those guys are, and they were friends. That's why I said, like, those guys were really tight. I don't think that there was ever an idea that what they were saying was bothering him. He didn't express it, and obviously he didn't say the coaches or them. He told his parents, and then that went out of there. And I think he wanted to get out, and probably part of the reason, like, was a second-round pick and he got a nice signing bonus, and if you quit, they can claw back your signing bonus. And he didn't want to be there. And so they made this illusion. He probably got to keep his whole signing bonus and most of his contract and was able to leave, and I think they traded him to San Fran, and Harbaugh was there at the time. He played for Harbaugh in college, I think. And so, like, it was a nice soft landing spot. But he was out of the league after a year or two. Now he's back at Wharton, going to Penn, or Wharton Business School over at Penn, and getting his MBA. Like, congratulations to him. A really smart guy. But, like, the NFL is not for everybody. But people make like this isn't a big deal because Richie Incognito kept playing, but it almost ruined his career. And that for allegations that were inherently false. And now for him to come out and say that 10 years later, like, if I was Richie, I'd still be pissed off about it too.
Yeah, I think he is.
Like, and obviously, like, some of his tweets and stuff that are coming out, but I mean, I see this, and, like, it was something when I remember looking at that, I'm like, man, because, like, Richie Incognito is a racist. I'm like, all right, I just saw Cameron Wake come out there and defend him, and Cameron Wake is a black man, and he's defending Richie Incognito pretty vehemently about this. So I don't think there was a racial thing. I think it's the fact that Richie was an easy target because he was a guy that you hated to play against but loved to play with. Like, if you were on his team, you were his guy, regardless of what you looked like, and he would do anything for someone. And if you played against him, well, I mean, he was mildly dirty and would play to the echo of the whistle, and you hated playing against him.
Scumbag.
He was a scumbag. I played against him, like, he was tough. Like, I did not like playing against him. The guy was an edgy player. And he looks like Baby Huey because his face is like yours, Beam. He's 35 years old and looks like he's still 14. So it's a great thing when you're 50. It's not maybe a great thing when you're 25. And he's a big dude, but he's got like a young dude's face, really young man's face. And I just saw this yesterday, and I was like, man, it kind of brought everything back up about it. And there are guys that cross the line. There's things that do go too far, and I wasn't in there explicitly for all of this. But it wasn't like it was an isolated thing just with him. And that was my whole issue with it, of how they went after him and tried to almost ruin a guy's career and his livelihood over this. And now 10 years later coming out like, well, it wasn't the way that it was. Well, I mean, it's a nice admission. Richie probably would have just as soon went on and never heard this, and I think the world may have been fine if you never said it. And I don't know why he chose to come out. It wasn't like he was platform. Maybe someone asked him. He could have declined the interview, and he went forward with it. And now this is all out there, and it's bringing a lot of stuff up for a lot of different people.
What Albert said about it in his mailbag, I got it pulled up. Said, I hope everyone looks back at what happened to Richie Incognito a decade ago. And now the rest of that story is being told. Gets a link to what is being said now. And takes valuable lesson from it. It's wrong to mess with someone's career without all the evidence. Incognito got railroaded in large part because people felt strongly about bullying, identified with the story that they wanted to hear, which didn't jibe with Incognito's side of it. The reality is the truth was always there in plain sight for people who really wanted to look and consider the evidence. Yeah, that's what Albert had to say about it.
If you talk to the other guys on the team, they would be able to talk about it and say that and say the things that they said at the time, but nobody wanted to listen.
Where could the Buckeyes be heading in April's draft? That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Still watching a little bit of a slowdown out in the Newark area on State Route 16 heading into Granville. Crews are clearing up a crash over there right now. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Tri-State Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Truly, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
For a limited time at Speedway, get 2 big pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce for only $5 with Speedy Rewards. Choose from Classic 3 Cheese, Pepperoni, or Extreme Meat Pizza. Save big with a $5 meal deal with Speedy Rewards. Only at Speedway. Valid through 3/4/25. See app for full terms.
Get President's Day deals all month long at Coughlin Ford. Get a new 2024 Ford F-150 for as low as $37,900. New 2024 Ford Super Duties starting at under $48,000. Or take $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2024 Broncos. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
All factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. No security deposit required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 3/3/25.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and by the time that you're hearing this message, I'll be down 50 pounds. That is 50. I recorded this last Thursday when I was down 48 pounds, and yep, I've probably already hit 50 by now. That's how fast Awaken 180 works. Now, how many hours of working out did it take? How many parties did I have to skip? Not that I party anyways, but how many did I have to skip? None. How many injections did I have to take? None. Zero. Nada. I did it by eating to lose weight with Awaken 180. That's it. Just over 2 months, I've dropped 50 pounds without making my life miserable. Maybe you're rocking a XXX like me, size 40 pant. Maybe you're swimming in your XXLs and thinking about what life would feel like in an XL. I promise you, if I can do this, so can you. Awaken 180 is simple. The coaches are awesome, and the results come quick when you're doing it the correct way. It's not only about hoping to lose weight, it's about knowing that you will. Awaken 180 Weight Loss makes it simple. You can get started and see for yourself. Reserve your consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Newman Roofing has been in business for over 30 years, so they know a thing or two about your roofing, gutter, and siding needs, and will ensure every detail is covered from start to finish. So call Newman Roofing today, the company built around family, at 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Goes to Rothman and Ice has been named the best midday show in the country by our industry peers.
A winner if ever there was one.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Also, Common Man and T-Bone has been named best show at Sucking the Fan.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is real simple and effective. It's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS. Get a welcome bonus up to $100 and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, mostly cloudy with a high of 21. Snow showers tonight with a low of 15. Quick dusting to maybe a half of an inch is possible by Thursday morning. Speaking of Thursday, we're looking at a few snow flurries with a high of 23. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here 8:30 this morning, Berm, he's going to join the program. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. You and I were talking about this a little bit earlier in the 6 o'clock hour, Bob. 11 Warriors, Matt and Dan from over there put together pretty good list of all things mock drafts right now. They got like 25 mock drafts that they've been scouring through, and they put every Buckeye in there who appears on these mock drafts and their average draft projection, right? So Josh Simmons' average draft projection, 22.75. We talked about Emeka, 23.25. Donovan, 31.4 in his average draft projection. So those guys average to be projected into the first round, right? Anything above 32, you're going to be into there. Talked about Ty Leaks at 35.7, Jack Sawyer at 38.1. You have JT Tuimoloau at 46.3, as high as the Baltimore Ravens at the 27th pick in the first round, all the way down to the final pick in the second round, that being the Kansas City Chiefs at number 64 in the 30th. Well, that would be the 64th pick in the draft. I guess one slot before the third round is set to begin. But you and I were talking a little bit earlier about Jack Sawyer and JT. Very similar players when it all comes down to build and body type. And I would imagine if Jack goes before JT, JT won't be soon to follow on the big board.
Yeah, I think both of those guys will go. I mean, I think I would say their window is probably, end of the first to top of the third. Somewhere in there between. I like to do it by numbers, like 40 to, I do it in chunks, like 40 to 80, somewhere in there. I think there'll be a lot of Buckeyes, not 40, I would say 20 to 80, somewhere in those 60 slots right there. Maybe more, even 20 to 60-ish, probably in that window. It's just going to depend upon need and fit.
And the way that the draft goes, too. I mean, we see runs. That's a real thing.
There are runs, and both of those guys are very similar style players, and they're more traditional ends in a 4-3. They can maybe even, I think both of them could be big enough to play, slide inside and play in a 3-4, depending on how it looks. And those terms are kind of antiquated a little bit because everybody does a little bit of everything now. But if that's like your base defensive kind of what you're looking for, I think those guys would both be good for you. And now, Jack had some elite production through the playoffs. JT, I think, had his most productive year as well this year. And so those guys now can finally pair some of that production with that potential that they had. And they're big, physical guys that I think both can be in the 270s or 280s. Like I said, they're not going to go out there and run, 4 or 5s and be these speed rushing DNs. But you don't need to be that. I mean, that's not what Hendrickson is. Like, there's guys out there that are double-digit sack guys who are not speed guys because that's just not what their gifts are and how their game is constructed.
Yeah, and you see guys who are on like the top of the mountain, like a TJ Watt or Myles Garrett, have both. Their speed and their power, and that's why they are at the top of the league for what they do. I think the most fascinating draft storyline for the Buckeyes is one of two things. One, where does Will Howard end up? What does it look like? Where does the NFL value Will Howard at? I think that's one I'm looking at. The other one is going to be, where in the world did the two running backs go? Because we know the last couple of years, Bob, the NFL, for as much as they're overvaluing the quarterback position, they are undervaluing the running back position. And I want to say, I forget who I saw, I had a tweet yesterday that they're actually putting in Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins into the first round of the draft. So you want to talk about fit, you want to talk about desire for both of those guys. I think that's storyline 1A I'm looking at for where Quinshon and where Travion end up. And if there is a running back run in the first round, if those guys are both guys that we could possibly see go towards the bottom of the first or top of the second.
So what's interesting about the running back position has been devalued, but you have a guy like Trey who he has elite home run speed.
Yep.
He's a little Jahmyr Gibbs-ish, as far as his ability to take it the distance. And so you have a game, when you have a game breaker there, I think that matters. Quinshon is a little bit more of a meat and potatoes guy. Like, he's got really good speed, but he has great explosion. He's a big physical guy. But both of them
does great things out of the backfield.
Both of them can block.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing. If you can block and you can catch, then you can be a 3-down guy. And both of them can do that. And Trey has that elite home run ability. So he probably leaves the board first, because of that home run ability that you've seen multiple times, from his first touchdown his rookie year or his freshman year against Minnesota to his final touchdown against Texas, and on that screen, and how remarkable it is. But
shot out of a cannon, man.
And Quinshon is a pounder and a grinder. You see Trey on the play against Notre Dame, the JJ, the block that he steps up and makes. You've seen him with the ball in his hand, and then you watch Quinshon blocking lead for Trey sometimes. Like, these guys they're willing and they're able. And Quinshon just has that physicality that you love, and then Trey has that home run ability. And so it's a little bit of kind of what you're looking for is what you draft as well. If you've got the speed guy, like, you're probably going to lean more into Q, and you'll probably take him a little bit lower just because he doesn't have that crazy game breaker ability. If you're a team that says, hey, we've got a physical running game, we can add a game breaker here that we can flex out, that we can move in the backfield, we can use 2 running backs with, it could be a matchup problem, then you know what? Then Trey might be your guy. But you need to be a creative offensive mind to be able to do that. Like your guy, Ben Johnson, like that. I mean, you saw him do that in Detroit. He has the ability to get guys in space and to utilize their speed.
Yeah, and all kinds of different. I mean, even Penei Sewell that you're using on your offense as well. Guys that follow Travion and Quinshon. By the way, Quinshon average draft projection 63.75, Trey 72.375. But I mean, it all depends on fit and what you need.
Here's the thing: the average is what everyone thinks about you.
Yeah.
It's like going into a bar, man.
You just need one.
You don't have to have everybody love you.
You just
need one to love you, Beam.
That's one person.
I said you don't need to be everybody's first round pick. You just need to be someone's first round pick.
I need to be your first round pick. That's all I need.
That's right.
Denzel Burke projection at 83. Denzel's a fascinating one to see what he can do at the next level, isn't he?
Yeah, he has some rough film out there. His sophomore year wasn't great. Oregon game this year wasn't great, but also you saw very physical. He's going to probably run, and some of this is contingent on how they run, but he's a very talented player. And 83, that's a little low. I think he's more of a second-round guy. I don't think he'll go in the third, but we'll see. I mean, so here's the thing. Like, they took all these mock drafts. I mean, how right are some of them?
And some of them only do 2 rounds. Some of them do a full 7 round.
Yeah. So it's 7 rounds sounds exhausting.
Yeah. Why don't we do that coming up here? Why don't we just get together? And I know that you did, was it a couple of years ago you did the first round mock draft? Morning Juice's mock draft extravaganza. We're going to do an entire mock draft for all 7 rounds. For all 32 teams. Every pick in the draft. We're going to do that.
Sounds exhausting.
I don't know how long that would take to put together.
Too long.
Probably a month. We'd probably have to start working on it now. if we want to get that done. Will Howard is another one. Again, some of these draft projections and mock drafts go 2 rounds. Some of them go 7. A lot of them don't go past the 3rd round in the mock drafts. Will Howard, a 91.4 on the average draft projection. Think that's pretty low with Will. I don't know. Ultimately, Bob, what you had just mentioned, it takes one, but we'll see what happens with Will. I think he's another fascinating story to come out of the Buckeyes as they get in and closer to draft. And we got the combine next week. We'll see if he ends up throwing in Indy. Lathan at 102.5, Jordan Hancock 129.5, Seth McLaughlin 149.5, Ty Hamilton at 163, Cody Simon at 196. Whoever gets Cody Simon's getting a great player and an unbelievable young human being.
Elite human being.
Very
as good as he is a player, he's a better man.
And then the one that it could come down to, at least from the mock drafts, and whether or not Ohio State can tie or beat Georgia's record of Buckeyes drafted is Josh Fryer.
Yeah.
Josh Fryer is going to be the one that can either make that history or not. And he is picked in one mock draft at 260 or 235 by the Bears in round 7. So we'll see if they can ultimately make that history by the time that April rolls around. But that's what we got going on right now. We got stuff with mock drafts.
Well, there's people that get invited to the combine that don't get drafted, and there's people that don't get invited to the combine that get drafted every single year.
So who knows? All it takes is one.
It's a beautiful mystery, Beam.
It is a beautiful mystery. This man is a beautiful mystery. Berm, he's going to join us. We'll talk some coaching changes. I don't understand, Berm. Off-season coaching changes and some off-season for the Buckeyes with him here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are still watching a little bit of a slowdown out in the Newark area on State Route 16 westbound heading into the Granville area. There is a crash cruiser working to clear up right now. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our final segment of the day, Columbus Blue Jacket Cole Sillinger. He's going to join the program. What did he do at the break? Who's he cheering for in the Four Nations? How much forward is he looking forward to going back to the rink today, starting minicamp? So he's going to join us coming up here around 8:47 this morning. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our friend. He is Jeremy Birmingham. Berm, thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it. Just your thoughts so far on this Buckeye offseason on the coaching front. Still haven't heard any official news out of the Woody, but I think we can all assume that Matt Patricia is there, considering Bob saw him yesterday.
Yeah, it is safe to consider that as factual. Bob has the ability to see things with his eyes, and generally speaking, the eyes don't lie.
Who were you guys interviewing yesterday?
Hey, man. No, you're giving away some goods. No, we were doing our second part of the series that we're working on, this 24-ever. Just basically interviews with the coaches and players that mattered from the championship stories. Yesterday Yeah, well,
how do you define who mattered?
Well, I get to decide that, Bob.
That's right. You're the director.
We spent some time with Carlos Lachlan yesterday,
okay.
And just to knock out that interview with him, and hopefully that'll be online on Friday morning. Not hopefully, it will be online on Friday morning, and then our goal is to keep putting one of those out every Friday for the next 10 weeks or so.
Did he mention, and I don't want to steal your thunder for when that comes out on Friday, but how many times did he mention the term soft batch cookie, Burr?
Not once.
Whoa,
and in
upset.
fact, I didn't bring it up, and I considered it, but the last time I asked him about it, he seemed to be annoyed, so I left it alone.
When he seemed annoyed, did you get scared? Was that an intimidation thing, Berm? Is that what it was?
That's exactly what it was. He's an intimidating man, and that's the way he is. It's fascinating to talk to Carlos. I mean, it's a guy that has not even been a member of the Ohio State coaching staff for a full year yet. If he's, because of the way things broke down with his hiring, he wasn't hired till April 1st of last year, so it's still very new to him, and it's interesting to see the impact he made, but I'm looking forward to people seeing the interview, and hopefully it is well received. As far as the rest of the staff goes, the what Ohio State's done, I think it's pretty indicative of what Ryan Day wants to do, and that's remain consistent to make sure that he keeps some continuity among the staff. Even a guy like Matt Patricia, who clearly the hire was a little bit polarizing when it comes to the fan base and the national perception of it, but what the goal for a guy like Matt Patricia is to just come in and do the things that Jim Knowles did. Sit down, spend his time figuring out what they need to do to win football games. And he's not going to be tasked with a bunch of recruiting. He's not going to be asked to handle one specific position. He's going to be coming in and he's going to be sitting down, coordinating a defense, figuring out week to week what the Buckeyes have to do. The reviews of a guy like Tyler Bowen, the new offensive line coach, have been great so far from what I've heard from people, especially high school recruits who have heard from him in the last 2 weeks. They love the way he communicates. He's young, clearly not as veteran as people would maybe have thought Ohio State would have gone at the offensive line position. But, even for a guy who's 35 years old, Tyler's been a coach for 15 years. And that's pretty, that's a lot of tooth there. So it's an interesting staff decision. And Ryan Day, especially on the offensive side of the ball, it is young. But I assume that we'll see more Ryan Day involvement in the offense this year than we did last year. And then the defense, if you just consider Matt Patricia and Jim Knowles a swap, then nothing has changed. So it's good for a championship team to have that sort of continuity.
It is. There's been thoughts about Larry Johnson's future, whether or not he was going to step away or not. I mean, is he indicated? Is there any inkling? Berm, I know you've got your finger on the pulse like nobody else. So what are your thoughts on that of whether or not he will be back on the sidelines this next year, or maybe just sailing off into the retirement sunset?
Well, I mean, from what I heard a few weeks ago, he was telling people that he was wanting to return and intending to return. He does have 1 year left on his 2-year contract that he signed at the start of 2024. And I think ultimately that decision may just come down to how different the defense looks under Matt Patricia. And, he's going to be running the Ohio State defense, but the question is, what does that mean? Because we saw the defense starting to get a little bit more multiple. We are entering an offseason and a spring football where you don't have a solidified front four up front on the defensive side because you lose JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer or Ty Hamilton and Tyleik Williams, and it's maybe not as cut and dried that it's going to be a 4-down front the entire year like Larry Johnson's preference has been for his entire career. I guess what I would say is let's see what happens through spring football, and then we'll. I don't expect Larry Johnson to do anything before then, but I guess I could be wrong. I think his intention is to stay with Ohio State, but we'll see how these next few weeks goes as these coaches all get to know each other and personalities mix and where things go from there.
But you're telling me you think that he could potentially step down mid-April after spring ball. Not all that. Well, I guess it would be different because Tony Alford left and went to Michigan, but more of a
in the middle of spring.
And in the middle of spring. But you think that there's a chance that he would potentially depart after spring ball?
I would say that I'm just learning that in this era of college football, we should not rule anything out. I think that much like the players on the team who have an opportunity to assess after spring ball how things went and how, are you comfortable, and now you can enter the portal. Anything's possible. I would expect what we know about Larry Johnson and the years we've covered him is that, he's pretty resolute when he makes a decision about things. I guess I wouldn't anticipate that he'd make that decision after spring ball, but I'm just saying it's also a possibility.
We've got Berm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Berm, what do you make of Ryan Day saying it's open competition between Lincoln Kingholtz, Julian Sayin, and then Tavian St. Clair, who's coming in as a true freshman? Because Bob and I were talking about it a little bit earlier. I mean, we do think it's an open competition. Someone has to win. That's not to say that we don't think that Julian Sayin may be the favorite in this quarterback contest, but, I mean, everything's a competition over at Ohio State, so I don't know why those comments have really surprised anybody.
Yeah, they shouldn't surprise anybody, and they're comments that probably shouldn't need to be made if he wasn't asked about it, and he'll be asked about it 10,000 times between now and the end of spring ball.
He's excited.
And he'll be asked about it until probably 2 weeks before the season opener against Texas, because I can't imagine that we'll know who the quarterback will be until the 14th or so of August. So it makes perfect sense. Obviously, Lincoln Kingholtz has been in the system for a year longer than Julian Sayin. But he's actually not even a year, only 6 months longer because he didn't enroll early. So I think it is a pretty even competition heading into spring. Lincoln's physically perhaps a touch more ready. Julian is the more polished passer, the more proper quarterback, I guess is the term I would use, because Lincoln's a little bit more of an athlete and does a few more wild card type things with his feet. But it should be a good competition. I know that he included Tavian St. Clair's name in that conversation, or it was included, but that is not something people should expect through the spring. If that is happening for Ohio State, if Tavian St. Clair is emerging as a real legitimate threat to be the starting quarterback, it's because something went wrong with the other two guys, or Tavian St. Clair is ready to go to the NFL after year one, because that leap from Bellefontaine to Ohio State is pretty substantial.
Yeah, I always talk about that. When you have a freshman coming in, if he's playing, it's either really good or really bad, because generally, and it's probably more really bad because you said it, Bert, we've been doing this for a long time. The jump to play at Ohio State as a true freshman is incredible. The jump to play quarterback is double that. So it's incredibly tough. One of the freshmen we think could be out there, though, Berm, I mean, you've been championing him, is our guy, Mr. Devin Sanchez. Do you think that he will be earning some rotational time this spring?
I would be shocked if he's not. I've starting to try to get people to consider Devin Sanchez as like the Jeremiah Smith of cornerback play. It's not going to be as easy to see the impact, because with Jeremiah Smith, it's like, hey, put football in his hands and watch him do stuff. Devin Sanchez clearly is not going to have the football in his hands 7, 8, 9 times, 10 times a game. So
not with an attitude like that.
That's a great point. Thank you. I need to be more positive. I forgot Homer Berm is here, and I need to consider that Devin Sanchez may have 7 or 8 interceptions a game. I do think that he's a player who's going to play. Now, the question is, where does that happen? Because Davis Igbenogson returns, Jermaine Matthews returns, Aaron Scott returns, Lorenzo Styles returns, and you think about those corner spots. I'm interested in how Tim Walton and McArary and Matt Patricia figure that out, because I do believe that Devin Sanchez is going to have to be on the field. I also think the same thing about Riley Pettijohn at linebacker as a true freshman, and I think that there's an argument and some heads being turned by T.J. Alford as well, the other linebacker that came in from Florida. So I think with the flexibility of C.J. Hicks and the likelihood that he's moving down to edge rusher position or the outside, linebacker / defensive end position. And I think that there's still some wiggle room maybe for Arvell Reese to play some of that role as well. I think you could see an emergence from Devin Sanchez, Riley Pettijohn, and TJ Alford, all as true freshmen.
Berm, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us. Very much looking forward to your conversation with Carlos Lachlan on Friday. Have a great rest of the week, buddy, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Here he goes, Berm, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Columbus Blue Jacket, Cole Sillinger. He joins us next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now we're watching one crash on I-670 westbound. We've got the left shoulder blocked off right near Cassidy Avenue due to a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And you've heard me talk a lot about how treating low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk to you about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction. And if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating your low testosterone could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back the flame and desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Tri-State Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Winter's here, and as the snow begins to pile up outside, you might find yourself dreaming of warmer days, sunshine, barbecues, fishing, maybe even thinking about those home projects you've been putting off for forever. Why wait for spring to start planning? Now's the perfect time to get ahead. With so many roofing, gutter, and siding companies out there, it can feel overwhelming to know where to begin. With over 30 years of experience and a focus on every detail, Newman Roofing makes it simple. As a family-owned business, they're dedicated to delivering an outstanding customer experience from your first phone call all the way through to the final touches on your home. When it comes to roofing, gutters, and siding, trust the name that's been a local favorite for decades, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
To find an agent near you, visit shelterinsurance.com and switch today.
You hungry? You know you are. We got chicken fingers, crunchy, fries are golden crispy, baby. Yo, don't forget about the cane sauce, baby. Ooh, right, here's the spot. Hello.
This is a Craver service announcement. Stop what you're doing and get 10 cheese sliders for a new low price of just $7.99. Your choice of melty American, spicy jalapeno, or cheddar cheese. Only $7.99 for 10 cheese sliders. White Castle. Follow your crave.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a battle with the Blackhawks. Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Your home for Blue Jackets hockey, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. A radio show hosted by two former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Every single Wednesday at this time, we get to check in with a different Columbus Blue Jacket.
Morning Juice presents Talking Jackets.
Now it's being general along the end boards, and he stuffs it behind Peter Mrazek for the score.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
As always, we get to head out to the hotline, check in with a different Blue Jacket. This week's Jacket of Choice, he is Cole Sillinger. Cole, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. How's the bye week been treating you? Well, a couple of bye weeks. I know you guys are back in action today. We got mini camp rolling in here. We've got the Blackhawks coming into town on Saturday. How's your past 10 days or so been? All right?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I was out in Scottsdale. My parents live down there, and my one brother goes to Arizona State there, so it was nice to just be down there. KJ was down there as well, so hanging out with him a little bit. But honestly, it was just a week to decompress and kind of stay active in a way, but also let the mind free and kind of just relax for a little bit. So it was good, but it's nice to be back as well.
So what did we think about that Four Nations battle between the United States and Canada?
Yeah, that was pretty insane. Obviously, with the start with the 3 fights there, and then with just how the game continued on, good hard fought battle, and I'm looking forward to watching the finals tomorrow.
Do you like this format better than the traditional All-Star game? As a fan, there's a greater degree of intensity. And I always tell people, whenever you have your flag on your uniform, that's going to obviously ratchet it up than any other exhibition. Is that something that the players have kind of leaned to and enjoyed?
Yeah, I definitely think there needs to be a best-on-best competition, and I'm very happy that they put together this Four Nations event, even just to watch it and see the players and everything like that. It's obviously been pretty surreal, and but I think it may be something that there's still going to be an All-Star game. It just kind of depends on the year, and now with the Olympics and all that, I think just depending on the year, whether it's going to be some sort of a Four Nations or Olympics or whatever. But I do think every other year that a best-on-best competition obviously helps grow the game, and people like to watch it. And I know the players obviously they like to play best on best just to kind of see where they're at, and it's a good evaluation for the whole league.
He is Cole Sillinger, the Columbus Blue Jackets, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I know the fights got all the draw in the first 9 seconds, but the game was magnificent, Cole. So hopefully we get to see that a little bit coming up here tomorrow in Boston at 8 o'clock as the USA and Canada will face off for that tilt. Mini camp starts back today, and we talk to Dean Evison every week here, Cole, on this show. And I know you guys had this a couple of weeks ago when you had a few days off. You had like a 2-day mini camp before getting back to some regular season action. What are you kind of expecting in things to get ratcheted up? Because as you look at the schedule, I believe 26 games left to go, and you guys are right in the thick of a pretty gnarly playoff race.
Yeah, Dean knows how to prepare us, so we obviously have some time here before we face the Blackhawks on Saturday. So we want to make sure we get 3 really good, really solid practices in before, and a good mix of probably up and down the ice, pace, battles, just kind of getting the body back into it and the mind back into it. But no, there's no doubt that we'll be ready for Saturday. And like you said, here we got about 26, 27 games left, and every single one of them matters. And we got an outdoor game to look forward to as well. So a lot of fun stuff here on I guess the final quarter of the season here.
I'm glad you brought up the outdoor game at the Shoe. How excited are you? I mean, obviously being born in Columbus and now getting a chance to play for the Blue Jackets, again a chance to play like in these iconic venues they have outside. It's been freezing cold here, Cole, and the odds are we always joke it's probably going to be 50 degrees for that game, and I think it's going to be in the 40s. So hopefully it won't be a slush fest out there for you and they can keep it cold enough. But getting a chance to play in one of those cups, how excited are you about that?
Oh, I'm very excited. Growing up in Canada, that's all I did on the cold days, warm days, didn't matter, was go out on the outdoor rink with my brothers or my buddies. And I've never actually played an outdoor game. Some guys have played, growing up in college or in juniors or whatnot. But this will be my first outdoor game, so I got a lot to look forward to. I got some family in town, and obviously just playing the game at the shoe in front of 100,000, and the opponent we're playing against. Everything. It's kind of set up to be a really exciting night.
Yeah, the team that you guys are facing in the playoff race, too. So not only is it a cool atmosphere, Cole, it's going to be a game of consequence, as every 26 games is here on the run until the end of the regular season. Buddy, we appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Best of luck in minicamp as you guys get things rolling back Saturday against the Blackhawks, all right?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, you guys. Appreciate it.
There he goes. Columbus Blue Jacket, Cole Sillinger, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I want to tell you about my friends over at Affinity Whole Health. They're the experts in the GLP-1s for weight loss therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. How about that? You've heard about semaglutide, tirzepatide. Affinity offers compounded semaglutide and tirzepatide, so you can lose weight and keep it off with Affinity. It's sustainable weight loss. They'll help you feel full and last longer. It's easy, simple at-home injections with support from a dedicated patient care coordinator. You check them out, you go there, they write up a treatment program for you, and they ship it right to your door. Get your free evaluations, free labs for semaglutide weight loss at feelgreatcolumbus.com. You visit the local office in Powell, and you'll feel great. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com. I'm excited for that Stadium Series game. I mean, I'm not going to be there. We've got a birthday party that day, but I'm excited for Shark to go with Courtney. That'll be good. You two guys, that'll be fun. I'm telling you, she'll really enjoy that, Shark. Just you guys sitting there hanging out. When is it? March? Yeah, it's next Saturday. First. That's right. There we go.
No Schleig's birthday.
Wow.
That'll be great.
Should have got, you know what?
I got him a tank top.
No, I know that. We should have had him on the PA at Ohio Stadium saying fire the cannon. That would have been... I know you guys are on the cruise, so that's
I believe me. I was not happy about when I saw that because I was excited to go.
Yeah, sweet jersey. You got the Stadium Series jersey the other day.
I'm pumped. I'm gonna wear that thing around. I'm gonna wear it on the cruise in the heat. That'll be sweet.
Wear the tank top, the Fidel tank top in the winter, and the hockey sweater in the summer.
It's got the cannon on it, so that's big.
Fire the cannon!
That scared me.
Jeez, that is jarring.
Yes, it is. Bob, I had so much fun with you today. What do you say we reconvene tomorrow for a big Thursday? Dean Evison in studio with us tomorrow at 7:30.
Let's do it.
Everybody have an awesome day. Uncle Bo and the boys are up next. We're back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Wednesday. Right now, we are still watching one crash on I-670 westbound. We've got the left shoulder blocked off right near Stelzer Road as crews work to clear that up. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
It's a celebration of savings at Giant Eagle. Join us for My Perks Appreciation Days, February 21st and 22nd. We're saying thanks with 500 bonus perks on a single $75 transaction on February 22nd, only at Giant Eagle or Market District. That's $10 off groceries or gas. Plus, earn 3 times the perks on every gallon of gas at Get-Go Friday and Saturday. Plus, free curbside home delivery for My Perks Pros on $150 orders. Restrictions apply. Visit gianteagle.com/appreciation for details.
How'd you like to wipe out all that credit card debt to start the new year off right? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Stop getting fleeced by the credit card companies. If you own your home, go to AFLcash.com now. Advantage First Lending can help you unlock that equity and get you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's AFLcash.com. You can pay off all your credit cards and other high-interest debt super fast. Consolidate all your bills into one low monthly payment. AFLcash.com can help you tap into your home's equity to give you some serious cash so you can go into 2025 with less stress and more confidence. Get the cash you need from Advantage First Lending now. Most homeowners don't even need an appraisal. How great is that? Get on solid financial footing. Go to AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. 844-394-CASH.
Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nadiata Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. Plus, no interest financing for 3 years. That's 36 months, people. And if you already have a price from another company, Universal Windows Direct will beat it. So you know you're getting the best deal around.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe 4th row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, we've all been there. It starts as a nuisance, something you just put up with. It's that joint pain. It starts to hurt, impacting everything in your life, whether it's your knee, your back, your hip, your shoulder, walking, climbing stairs, even getting out of the car, moving around. It all hurts. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And I'm talking about that always there, that nagging pain, the stuff that I had when I got done playing professional football. It was in my knee. So what did I do? I went to see my friends at QC Kinetics. Their groundbreaking new treatments for arthritis pain provide long-term relief. The regenerative treatments are sweeping the nation. They're right here, right in Columbus, Ohio, under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, founder of Grant Sport Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. So here's what you want to do. Go to QCkinetics/Columbus, because I'm going to tell you this, it's not going to get better with time. You can't wish it away. They've got an office in Dublin, one in Gahanna, or give them a call at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.